Hmm. Hey everyone, and welcome to Schmoedown Night in Canada, the draft edition. Holy,
Woo!
we have a great show coming up for you. We just watched one hell of a draft. First off, let's get into introductions. I am joined by Daniel as usual, by Dave as usual, but today we have a very special guest. Dave, do you want to introduce the lovely lady sitting to your right?
The lovely lady to my right is John Rocha's number one fan, Justine Martin, my fiance, who loves the Schmoedown.
Oh, we're so happy to finally have have Justine on the show. For a long time, I was convinced you were imaginary.
You know what? Me too. I was convinced I didn't exist sometimes. It's okay.
You're gonna fit right in here.
I guess Stockholm syndrome was the only way Dave was getting married, right?
Pretty much.
Guys, I don't like the angle this show has taken.
Yeah, the first time you met Justine, he was wearing a Guy Fawkes mask. You know, the whole thing.
All right. So the Schmoedown 2021 draft happened this year. Let's talk about that instead of my relationship.
Out of the three of us right now, you're the only one in a relationship, so we have to live vicariously through you.
There you go.
Okay, Dave, your camera's doing that thing again.
That's okay. Don't worry about me.
Okay, and speaking of that thing again, here's Lou walking away. Hey, Lou! Welcome to the party.
Like they was on my butt, so I might as well just turn back and sit down.
Yeah, no, great timing. But hey, dude, how about that draft?
What the fuck happened?
Right?
And hi, Justine. Nice to finally meet you.
Hi, nice to meet you.
See,
Now,
she's real.
Because apparently he doesn't look at it, so just make sure the camera's not on snap mode for pictures, just in case he misses it.
I will definitely make sure of that.
All right.
So
let's get into it. Let's just get into it, man. Who had the best night?
I'm gonna refrain from my answer because I'm doing it on the hard questions tomorrow on SOS, so I cannot answer that.
Nope.
That answer.
Sounds good. Daniel, who do you think won the night?
It's hard for me to decide that. I have two really big contenders for winner overall. Actually, three, honestly. So let's start. I'll name the three, and we can kind of go through them, and let's have you guys help me decide. We've got the dungeon, right?
Mm-hmm.
Mara Canopik, Molly Damon, Chris Jericho, which is like guaranteed matches, Video Drew and Whitney Seibold. I'm so excited about the dungeons picks. And you're adding that group to Dan Murrell, Ben Bateman, and the best inner geekdom player in the Schmoedown, Robert Parker.
Now,
all right, let's have. Did you say Mara? Because I don't think I heard that name.
Well, while Dan unfreezes, I have a question. Do you think Dungeon took Jericho to be able to trade her for a pick he wanted and Shannon took?
Or, well, you mean Roxy? Here's what I'm thinking:
Roxy.
If there's one other person in the league that could convince Jericho to play for them, and that is Kaiser.
He knows his wrestling. It's true.
Yeah, exactly. He knows his wrestling. They run in similar circles. They probably met before.
But here's the thing. Is Roxy the one person in the league who can get Jericho not to play? Can Roxy convince Jericho not to play in order for Kaiser to be forced into a position to trade?
If Jericho's able to put down his urge to like get better, because you saw it pissed him off losing two in a row, right? So he might have a chip on his shoulder. It's gonna be hard to say, hey, please wait another year for the thing that, you are good in everything but Schmoedown. I don't think it's going to work, man.
Okay.
And I would say Kaiser, like, surprisingly, I think has one of the more well-rounded rosters, and he was able to get Adam Witt really late in the draft. He was a 3-division player. It's exciting stuff.
What happened? What happened with Witt? Not Witt. Wow, shouldn't have smoked a joint before the show. Zipper.
You smoked a joint, and I'm having a beer.
There you go. What happened with Zipper? Why did he slip that low though?
Well, here's the thing I'm looking at. It's like we have so many shiny new toys coming in that obviously it was hard not for people not to go for them, right? And he's not wrong. I was shocked when that was brought up at the end of the draft special that Gucci didn't draft any females.
I think he went with purely stats. He did questionnaire quiz, and whoever passed the highest marks, he was going to draft, right?
Yeah.
Gucci also drafted 7 rookies. So,
but see, I'm excited for Gucci. I'm excited for the Finstock because, like, you just don't know what's going to happen. You just don't know what's coming. And that's like one thing that's really exciting about it is that, yes, he drafted a lot of rookies, but we don't know what these rookies could do. And honestly, they could go all the way to the top. You don't know that. And that's what's really exciting about it, to me personally.
Like, who was Adam Collins 6 months ago?
Right.
And here's the thing. I think he gave he gave a clue, right? He said moneyballing. I think he's going to try to do what Dungeon did, but actually do his homework.
That's what I said that before we went off air.
Kaiser kind of did like, oh, I'm going to moneyball, but he didn't really do research behind the moneyball. He just kind of picked who he felt right. I think that, the whole 400-page document, I don't think he's lying. I don't think he's doing Gucci. I think he has a fucking 400-page document.
Oh, yeah. No, I said the same thing as you before we went on air. Finstock is doing what Kaiser did, but better. Because instead of one league, he's diversifying.
And I think this is the time for him to do it too. Personally, just because everybody thinks that kind of Finstock is down for the count, when this is the time for him to really show that, you know what, I'm not. My players are not. I have this team. I have an idea. I know what I'm doing, and I'm going to show you it. I think this is the time for him to do it.
Right, and he has work as an advisor
I have 2 things to say about this. One, I will say that I do believe Gucci had a 300-page document, but under no circumstances do I believe he wrote it. Craig the Barbarian wrote that 300-page document, and Gucci is utilizing it. And the second thing I will say is...
I would, before you do that, I said on air he pulled a Trump, and the whole 300-page document was blank. I happen to be an Ottawa Senators fan, and I will Daniel.
That you do not make your team better by getting rid of all of your stars and expecting a rebuild to last a single year. So I'm not sure that Gucci has what we need here.
Okay.
Yeah, it's an interesting prospect because we don't know what the Finstock exchange will look like. Hopefully, by the end of the night, we can know have a little bit more insight into the Finstock exchange. But you never know. Anything can happen on Schmoedown Night in Canada.
Anything can happen. You never know what to expect. Next thing you know, I'm naked running around yelling "Mama," So.
Well, you can expect that not to happen because this is still YouTube.
Sorry, Daniel.
You're gonna blur it out after. It's okay.
I mean, it's fair for him to say that, but he never gave me his team to shit on. So
that is true. And after watching those events against Vancouver, man, they're not looking good.
when Louis tells me the Sens suck, I say the Montreal Canadiens have never done a single thing in my lifetime worth cheering for, let alone getting on board
Have you seen the fucking season that just started? We're winning the cup.
That's true, man. This season is going to be
No,
is going to be good for Montreal.
They got Anderson.
Anyways, Schmoedown shorthanded goals already this year when they had 6 in total last season. Just saying.
All right, go ahead.
So, guys, Daniel, I'll come to you first. What do you think the biggest shock for this draft was? For me, it was Thomas Harper being the number 3 overall pick and the first Star Wars player drafted.
I was pretty shocked at that. I thought that definitely you were going to get the title contention players out of the way first. And I expected Harper to be like Louis. I was starting to come around on he was going to be the first rookie drafted, but I had him going in the 8 or 9 position, also to the Den, coincidentally.
Mm-hmm. Look, and this is the fun thing with Stereo. I'm gonna be the next Harloff. I'll just talk about Stereo all day long. But that's the fun thing about Stereo. Jumping into all the conversations everyone's been having, you're starting to hear, Harper so much that's why I said like he's gonna be first, right? And he was so close, but he keeps buzzing. So he was alive, and I'm not surprised that he won second.
With third,
yeah, close enough.
Yeah, no, these draft picks, man, like, yeah, Thomas Harper was an obvious lock for being one or 2 of the rookies drafted.
Now, another interesting question, and I'll actually come to actually wore twice.
He's been in the Israeli army, that's why he says that.
Yeah, I'll actually come to Justine first on this one. Do you think Kate utilized her trade to get the 8th and the 9th overall pick well?
I actually do. I actually think that she used it very well. First of all, I love the direction that Kate is going. I feel like she built more or less a roundhouse of a team. And so like, I'm super excited to see what she does. And yeah, I think that the trade really worked for her in the long run, looking at the draft and kind of everything that happened with it. It definitely worked in her favor.
Yeah, no kidding. She got some really good picks. Here's one I want to bring. Oh, sorry. Go ahead, dude.
I was going to say the Den was the second of my 3 potential winners of on the night, because I think while I actually think she does better with like the middle 4 picks than she does with 4 picks, if you're looking at them in isolation, I like filling a deep roster with Saul, Riley, Peggy, and Jader a little bit more than just Thomas Harper is an easy pick because it's the top of the Star Wars board of rookies, and Duralde was an easy pick because it's a teammate to go with one of your top tier players in singles. Again, Saul is even an easy pick because Brandon Hanna was gone by that point. The rookie sensation, Amaru Moses, is gone. So at this point, like, Saul is the highest ranked IG competitor out there. So I like what she did in this draft, especially. She picked up some real players that will do some serious work next year, I think.
Now, here's one I want to bring up. It's Winston drafting Zipper.
Yeah, I mean, go ahead.
As is well documented on Schmoedown Night in Canada and Schmoes of the North media, Eric Zipper is my favorite player. Eric Z-Man Zipper, I'd love to have you back on to talk about your reuniting with Winston. After you talked about destroying him last year, just love to know how you feel about that. I love this pairing. I think the two of them work so well on World's Finest that the two of them, one managing and one playing, Zipper will be comeback player of the year this time next year.
I can see that.
many things to say about this one.
Daniel, why do you hate me?
I think swag pushes. Oh no, I have nothing against anything you just said. I agree with most of it. Eric Zipper is a great 3-division player, and I'm looking at a team up with Vinny Mancuso, and that could be some interesting things. But what I like about swag is Laura Kelly and Ace Cabrera studying Star Wars trivia together. And that is terrifying.
That
Jen
is
Kemp
awesome.
as a late pick, also potentially be paired with Vinny, to be honest.
Yeah, Winston really picked well in this draft. He's definitely going to be in the conversation again for Faction of the Year.
Winston is someone who I think is going to get, I think in all the excitement of Kaiser picking Jericho and Mark Riley falling so late in the draft, I feel like Winston is going to be someone who's overlooked. And I want to make sure that that's not done, because I think he had a really impressive, like stealing Eric Zipper so late. Like you said, Kelly and Ace and Vinny Mancuso, those are 4 players that are just going to crush it.
And not to forget Haley Fouch.
Yeah, Haley.
There's so much potential. Like, look at
Jen Kemp.
I mean,
And Jonathan Harris.
Haley Fouch and Eric Zipper in a team.
They have been a team already.
That's true.
In Corruption or in Anarchy.
I was actually literally thinking, like, do you reform the Harris brothers, and what was Zipper and Oyama's team?
Oh wow, yeah. Loose Cannons.
Yeah.
Travis, that's my buddy Travis watching. I don't think Winston will trade Laura. I think he picked her up because she's a great player.
I don't think he should trade Laura, to be honest. The fact that he got Laura is something that is awesome, and that he should keep Laura because he kind of, not that he needs Laura, but like, you know, it's Laura. You want to have Laura on your team. It's another like place it's another pawn that you have in your pocket, and you can play, and you never know where Laura is going to go. And I'm so excited to see her go, and I can't wait. And I hope that she goes farther.
And here's the thing, like, you have potential in your pockets. Let's say in a tournament, you have 2 sides of the tournament. You put one, Laura, the other one, Ace. You got potential, both of them going to the finals, right? So they're that types of players that if it goes their way, they're final material. So they can rack up points really easily.
Yeah. I do wanna get into Rob was mentioning being underwhelmed by the suspects picks. I do disagree with that a little bit. I love the pickups of Amaru and Marie E. Wilson, Jacob Whitnabin as a depth pick for Star Wars and IG behind both of those competitors. It's a well-rounded team. You've got the celebrity that will bring notoriety and like clout to your faction. I don't see a lot wrong with Sam's picks, and they're all safe with a top 3 of Ethan, LeShannon Miller, and Jay McQueen.
And he also picked up Stacy. Which is, as we all know, can rack you points when it matters. And he picked up
Star Wars Stacey Howards. I mean, I think Dave said it slightly differently, but
still, he also picked up the Viper from Cobra Kai. Man, like, come on.
Yeah, Leo Logan, you're right. Erwin McQueenie and Liz Stacy. Liz and Stacy. That's a dynamic I would love to see. Because she can be a mouth. Liz is the brains behind it, right? So good pick.
Yeah, they're going to be, in my opinion, they're going to be the sleeper of the year.
Yeah, they definitely are.
Yeah,
they definitely are. All right. So who else have we not talked about yet?
Somebody, how do we think? And I actually want to go to.
Aww. You already got her, dude. Don't kiss ass
I want
now.
to talk. Shut up, guys. I want to talk about. I want to talk about corruption a little bit more. They easily came into this draft in the best spot, having 4 top-ranked players. How do we think? Do we think they drafted well accordingly? Like grabbing Joseph Scrimshaw so late, I think was a total steal.
Yeah, and a little weird. It's gonna be weird seeing like that Obi-Wan being paired up with Grand Moff Tarkin.
I guess this question is for me.
It is.
Yeah. Getting to come back this year with 6 out of her 10 from last year, because you bring Hoyk back and you bring Clee Wiggins back from the depth position on your roster. This is basically the corruption of last year. Laura Kelly was 1-1 last year and Sean Sullivan was 1-1 last year. So essentially, what's the difference between the two? You got Joseph Scrimshaw now as well. I'm saying by record, by points.
Because I'm gonna say I have a crush on one, but not on the other. So,
for a manager's point of view, the way Jeff Snyder says that players should not care about the faction championship, they should only care about belts. Well, the faction championship is the manager's thing to care about.
Yeah.
And they don't care about stats. They care about wins and points. And if you're making them points, then you're a good player for them. And in that aspect, Sean Sullivan and Laura Kelly had the same year last year.
No, you're not wrong.
No, the only difference is Laura Kelly has a number 1 contender shot and Sean Sullivan doesn't. I think that's the big difference. But I get what you're saying.
But a loss in that match is still worth 0 points.
That's fair.
A win is definitely worth more, which is why Laura was drafted higher. And I would argue, stats-wise, Laura might be a better player on paper. But nobody in that division tells you to discount Sean Sullivan. And everyone tells you to actively watch out for Joseph Scrimshaw. So I like both of those picks, despite our newest favorite from earlier this week when we had on Ross Arsenault. I really wish that Ross was picked tonight, but I think just everybody getting out ahead of him in the whole sphere kind of got him pushed down the list a little bit. But there's still 5 more rounds, so he's definitely making it onto a faction.
Well, it also hurt his chances that he submitted his option way too late and it was very last minute.
Yeah.
Now, I want to talk something that this is criminal to me. James White, what happened? What happened?
1 match. That's what happened.
Well,
no, he had 2 matches.
Was it 2?
Yeah.
No, he just had 2. He played against Frank Moran in a play-in match, and then he played against and they lost to Bibiani, which is no small feat, losing to Bibbs.
Yeah.
Yeah, but here's the thing. Hugh has a lot. He has a worse record. He has amazing, team stuff, right? Good high points, but he's lost as much. And Hugh got drafted. So what happened? I mean, James White is not a slouch.
Hugh has got a decade and a half of game tape. He is proven at his knowledge. His thing just doesn't know the game well. If he gets the game down, holy shit.
Also, Hoyk has been on 3 teams, has played 4 teams matches and scored almost 90 points. That's unheard of.
Thank you, 50.
Don't kiss up to Lou.
Please do. Please do. Everyone hates me for some reason. I brought everyone together. So yeah.
Oh, it's okay. I'm the new person here, so I don't understand the dynamic yet.
Oh, you're seeing it live and in color.
I like you, Justine. You might have to talk to Steve to be a permanent SOTN member. All right.
Yeah.
If I'm tracking this right,
how about this?
We have not talked about the stars and the mercs.
We have not.
So what do we want to?
The mercs I really like, and this is the one thing because I know I've talked a lot. Perry Nemiroff coming back to the mercs, I love. I love her staying with Coy.
See, I just love Coy.
Yo,
I really do. I just love Coy so much. He's like, if I probably never actually would be part of this photo, but like I would go to Coy and be like, can I be part of your quirky mercs? Because that's just who I am.
Nice. Very nice. But no, like Perry staying with him just makes a lot of sense.
The one thing I'm curious about is which one of his following picks he's planning on pairing her up with. I like both Josh Horowitz because they're both from the same sort of punditry sphere.
Yeah.
And I also like pairing her up with Beth May just based on the characters alone in that dynamic.
You know, it's not hard to go against Frenchie. Lou has a lot of bad takes.
And
pronunciation. Say that to Christian. I'm not gonna say that to Christian. Okay.
I realized today, Lou, that you are actually like the Bibiani to my Christian.
Yeah.
Like I understand 100% every point you're trying to make and why you've come to that conclusion, but I disagree with it completely.
Yes.
I like that.
I am the Bibiani. I have big ideas. Sometimes they're right on point. So like the Harper thing was almost right on point. I wasn't too far off compared to you other schmucks saying where he was going to go. But I agree. Sometimes what I say makes no sense, and I love it.
Yep. Yeah, you should see her.
Is Jeff Snyder done? Almost wins both tournaments.
That's hilarious. Now, can I just say though, obviously the draft is not done yet. We have 2 more days, or a day, or however long they have. Will Coy be able to reunite the real rejects? Can that team survive?
Now, see, here's what I predicted and what we were just doing before this. If Shannon were to do a Wild Berries this year, split up the real rejects, and then Coy comes out of nowhere, drafts Dewberry, what do we have? The real berries. The real berries.
I'll buy.
I used to like you, but hey.
Oh.
50 with the shade.
Now,
50 shades. Yeah.
So that wasn't intentional, oh boy.
Yeah. So I see a chat in here with
is it about the best Harris brother? Yes, it is.
Yeah, I was surprised I didn't realize he's actually in the draft, and I was surprised he got picked on the show.
He was actually the last person on Frank's draft board.
Huh.
And it's now I said something that I thought would be interesting, which is what if while Lon is around his brother, he is the professor, but when his brother's not around, he's the delinquent.
What?
Yeah, I think that would be an interesting thing. Like, what if he had a duality about him? Now,
no, it's not a duality at all. It is a full-on.
I'm sorry, 50. Yes, we did come up together. I'm having a beer, and since I don't drink, it hit me pretty quickly.
Specifically, the suit jacket isn't done up right all of the time when he meets Jonathan, and like he's hastily tightening the tie, and he is homeless, but he is pretending to his family that he is still on straight and narrow.
All right, so boys, let's put a pause. The man, the mystery, Mr. Harper. How are you doing, man?
Thank you. I'm reeling. I am still trying to process what just happened. I'm blown away.
As a lot of people are, probably not just your pick, but what the fuck happened? Did Finstock lose his mind? A lot of things we're asking ourselves. First off, congratulations.
Thanks.
You are definitely worth that round of that number of a pick. Like I said to the boys, I've been doing a lot of stereo going in everyone's chat, and your name, my man, it sounds like an echo on stereo. It keeps getting repeated, so it's well deserved, man.
Yeah, I was looking up quickly. I had to brush up on my NHL draft trivia, and I was like, who were some famous number 3 picks? And you've got folks like Taves and I think Henrik went number 3 and Keith Primo. So I'm in good company, but those are big boots to fill, if you will.
Mm-hmm.
There are also some complete duds on that list. So
yeah, let's not focus on the duds, please.
I do have my classic bit here. I'm going to grab my giant whiteboard. I've been working on a possible list of Schmoeminati suspects. It's about 3 people long right now. I might have to move you straight to the top of it, above Mark Ellis.
He wasn't even around in the storyline, Daniel.
You hooked me up to a polygraph.
Overall.
All right, but okay, so were you hearing a bit of did you had an inkling this would happen, or this was really a surprise to you?
No, this was a surprise to me. A pleasant one. I'm completely amazed by the team that Kate has put together, but we were sitting there and my wife literally was like, well, do I have a few minutes to go mix another drink? And I said, yeah. Nothing's going to happen for at least, probably till round 2. And she goes out of the room and then my name comes up and she comes running back in and yells at me like, why didn't you tell me you could go number 3? I was like, I don't know. So, that is what it is. But
did she reach out to you, say, hey, I'm going to be picking you? Or did
no.
you have any inclination at all?
No, I'll tell. I mean, nothing against her because she's, did whatever homework behind the scenes that she did, but no, we didn't have contact the day of the draft or anything like that.
Oh wow.
Do you feel any pressure given that you were the highest drafted Star Wars player?
Yeah, absolutely. I will tell you that my motivation coming in is to not be a flop. Like living up to that pick and making that worth it is important to me because while I don't pay a lot of attention, or I didn't pay a lot of attention to Kate's performance last season, because at the end of the day, I was ready to jump onto any team, whether I got picked first or dead last tomorrow. It did not matter to me. The opportunity is what mattered to me. But I couldn't escape the conversation that dominated the last week, which is picking apart her trade. And I thought my knee-jerk reaction, without any communication or professional knowledge, was that it was a good trade. I mean, Marisol is obviously an excellent player. You're not going to get 2 picks like that if she isn't.
Yeah.
But I said, if she uses those 2 picks wisely, you could do gangbusters. You've got, 3 picks in the first 16. That can be deadly. You see pro sports teams do that sort of thing all the time as they rebuild their rosters.
Yeah. Canucks did now, it 99 with the Sedin twins.
Yeah, that's exactly it. And so, but now the pressure's on me. She's put herself out there. She's burned that pick on me. And, my other motivation is to walk in. I've seen Reddit. I've seen some of the chatter about, well, how good could these Dragon Con players be? This is our house. They're coming into our neighborhood and playing Schmoedown. They don't know this game, this, that, and the other. And so it's a point of pride to me to come in and say, you've never sat on the Dragon Con stage. You've never prepped for this trivia contest. Maybe you've watched the 2020 competition, but you've not watched been in the audience or in the competition the last 6 years, like I have, like Alex has, like Molly has, like Zach has, and like Marie has. And so there's almost this like family mentality. Like I need to go in and prove that my family is worthwhile, that my family name in Dragon Con is worthwhile. And I know folks respect the heck out of Alex for good reason, but they don't know the three of us. And so I want to walk in and say, look, Alex isn't the only cat on the block that can swing a big stick here.
Yeah, and Star Wars feels different this year. It feels before it was like, yay, we got a Star Wars division. This is fun, but now this is serious. There's competition to Damon, and like you said, if the other people say, "Hey, this is our house," they're just jealous and ignorant on what else is out there. And I cannot wait to see what kind of damage and panic you all three Dragon Con players can actually ensue. It's gonna be fun, man.
And here's two number 3 draft picks you didn't mention. I'm looking, I'm like, holy shit. Pat LaFontaine, Scott Niedermeyer.
Yeah.
2 Hall of Famers. So,
And one thing I wanted to bring up there is that this is probably the season we were waiting for. We thought about it last year when the big Twitch tournament was happening, and like parity has happened in the singles division. It has happened in the teams division. It's happened in the IG division. Star Wars was that last echelon of the Schmoedown where there was like the champion and then the division below them. And this is likely the year we're going to reach close to parity within this division as well. And it's going to become ruthless.
All right, so we decided do a little something here. Another surprise for a lot of people. We had him on. We really enjoyed him. He had a smile all along, but we can see a little evil behind him. It's Mr. Gold Leader. Oh my
Whoa.
You know, I'm going to have to snatch. I'm telling you right now, this isn't a promo. This is just a promise. I'm going to have to snatch that nickname off your cold, defeated body.
I knew going in. I saw your ass on the draft list the first time. I was like, this motherfucker's going to go for Gold Leader. I know it. But,
I love you, man, and I've talked you up, and for good reason. There's a good reason you went where you went. That was not a stretch at all, but I'm coming for that nickname as a Y-Wing fan.
Come and take it. Come and take it.
Now, GL. I'm gonna go GL, man.
Yes.
Now, GL, did you hear rumblings this might happen, or did you drop your beer on the floor when we heard your name?
I did not know I would get picked as quickly as I did. I didn't know that I was gonna get picked. I was confident going in. I was talking to some people the night before and everything, and it just seemed like it was gonna happen. I still tried to play kind of on the edge. I was not 100% sold that I would be drafted, but I didn't expect it to be this early, so I'm very excited about that.
Were you surprised it was Gucci?
Yes, I was. I thought, I had a couple other people that I was talking to as well. I just, like I said, it was mostly an issue of like I had no idea I would get picked that fast by him. I knew he was interested in me, but that fast was pretty insane.
I'll pull back the curtain a little bit because Evan and I don't know each other. I hope that we get to be frenemies by the end of the season, but with me walking away with that nickname. However, I will say that I won't name teams, I won't name managers, but Evan and I sort of virtually met in a hangout with one of the managers as they were feeling players out in the Star Wars rookie list. Of all the folks on the screen, there were 2 that stood out to me. One is my now teammate, Lacey, and the other was Evan. And, I know you were flying a little bit on the radar, and then you started just bursting onto everybody's radar, at least I hope, the last week or so.
Sure.
But, man, I was talking you up, and you've got a fire in your belly that I think is other existing players are going to have to look out for.
Well, thank you. Thank you. It was a good meeting.
And Evan, I'm curious, Gio. Now it's Finstock.
Yeah.
Are you trying to do stuff like right away with your character, or see how you're gonna approach it, or do you have any ideas flowing already? Now it's him.
I am just gonna be the same me that I was going into this draft. I'm going to be just as cocky and just as much of a dick as I was before.
So you
And
fit right in with Gucci.
yeah. The only difference is I'm just going to be studying now, like a lot harder. So that's changed.
So you are a smiling Sith with a beer can instead of a hand of hilt and a lightsaber. Okay, all right.
100%.
So you get drafted by Finstock Exchange. Now, how excited are you to be working with John Rocha?
Oh yeah, that's interesting as well. Because I'm new to most of the extraneous Schmoedown stuff apart from the Star Wars League, but I've heard that name so much. So getting to know these bigger names is going to be pretty exciting. Because these are people that I've heard whispers of for a long time, and now I'm just thrown into the breach with all of them. So we'll see how that goes. It's pretty exciting.
And I'm going to throw that back to you, Thomas. How about working with Riley? Because those are two of the OG greats.
Yeah, you couldn't ask. Like I said, when the dust settled and at least these rounds, all but the last two, I guess, were over, I was just sort of sitting back, stunned, because the talk coming into the draft for the Den and for Kate was, well, this trade was fumbled. How could she do this? How could she make these signings and then trade away that level of player? And I said, a lot of people are prejudging, and then almost immediately, everybody seems to be saying that we have a pretty damn good roster, and I'm just fortunate to be sort of sitting at the feet of some legends like that.
Yeah, and you mentioned you having a faction mate in your division already, and while there are still many people to be added to the lists, so you might still end up with one gold leader, but how does it feel to possibly, a number of these guys are rookies whose divisions are listed as not available, so there is so little information on your teammates. You might be the only Star Wars player on your faction currently.
Or you might actually
Would you like
be the
to
only
speak
one
on that?
You might actually be the only one that actually knows who they are. The rest is like, who? I don't have, man. Who?
Right. No, it's there's a lot of good. Well, because Finstock is like all rookies except for the three free agency picks.
Yeah.
So it'll be this is a definite mixed bag of things happening here. We'll see. I have no idea what's gonna. Maybe this is the cream of the crop. We'll see. I told somebody yesterday. I was like, I've shown screenshots of my wins and everything. I totally could have just been making this shit up the entire time. Like nobody independently verified. I'm not saying I did that.
I have a funny story, and Evan, you can confirm this or deny it. But one night, there's a virtual trivia competition that's out there. They do a bunch of different stuff, but they do a Star Wars night every once in a while called Trivia Nation. And Laura Kelly DMs me, and she goes, "This is you, right? Are you gold leader?" Because I'm like the big Y-Wing stan on Twitter. And I was like, no, man, like I'm watching a movie on, it's like completely unrelated. I'm not doing trivia tonight. And I was like, I don't know who that is, but he's cool if he has that name. That was before the draft list came out. And then lo and behold, I was like, I know exactly who that MFer is.
I knew that it was her too. I remember because her name was originally Laura Kelly in the game. So I was like, wait, are you like the Laura Kelly? And then the next game, she was just LK, and her name in the game was Rando Mando. At least I'm pretty sure that's who it was. I don't mean to blow your cover, Laura, but so I knew it was her too, and I'm so glad. That's actually really funny. Thank you for verifying that, because I had a feeling it was true.
That's funny. It came full circle.
Yes, I've been wondering for weeks. Yeah.
So, with the bigger emphasis being placed on the Star Wars division this year, and I'll pose this to both of you, how is there a certain individual that you are specifically wanting to face in the league, or are you just focused on grabbing those faction points for the faction that drafted you?
You can go ahead, Evan.
Okay. I just realized this is like the two gold leaders are on this thing right now. I don't know why I didn't think about that. Anyway, you guys know how X-Wings are the better ship than Y-Wings? No.
Shade.
Tackle my computer here.
Anyway,
I'm bummed.
I would love
Sky Bomber
to.
for life, man. Yeah.
I would love to play Laura Kelly.
Spaceships.
Because now that I know, I've played her before, and I'm curious how that would go. So this is. I think that's a full circle match that has yet to come around. I would love to see that happen. I also want to play Zach Burkett, and Thomas for that matter, because now I have somewhat of a frenemies thing, like you said here. So any of those would be great.
Yeah, I don't have anybody targeted. I think everybody keeps asking me about Alex and when are you going to play Alex, or when do you think you would get up there? My response is you've got to earn that right, just like anybody. I mean, I would say that the first up, other than Molly, Dimolanta, and Laura, is Ace. Like Ace has got to get his shot to go back against Damon long before anybody with an R beside their name does. And I also face Alex every year. No matter how it turns out, he and I see each other in high-level trivia every Labor Day. So regardless of what happens between now and the end of August, early September, I know I'm going to see him in that capacity. So it's not like, I want to challenge him, and I fully expect that he's going to be holding the belt still by that point. And that's obviously a goal, but I put it, in the Army, we like to talk about, I like to compare things to the rifle range. And so you've got 50-meter targets out to 300-meter targets. Alex is a 300-meter target for me. That's on down the road. I've got to take care of the 50-meter target that's right in front of me. And that is whoever Christian puts in front of me, whether it's a match outside the tournament or a tournament match. And quite frankly, there are a lot of unknowns in the rookie class that are coming in that I have no idea about. They could be another Alex Damon. They could be another Laura Kelly. We don't know. And so my curiosity is piqued. I don't have anybody in particular. I would love to face Laura. Evan, I'd love to get to go against you. But, I'm here to hit that 50-meter target.
Now, I don't know if it's up on the screen or not, but I thought this was worth bringing up.
Now,
Yeah, I don't know what you think about that, Thomas.
Well, if the season goes the way that Bateman thinks it's going to go, those picks aren't going to be very valuable because they'll be drafting at the end of the year. So I hope he's putting faith in his team, because if he thinks that they're going to have these valuable early round picks, that means they're not going to do so well. So got to think that through.
Ooh, shots fired. Okay, I like that.
So you are strong in the dark side. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
now
We're gonna have a gray Jedi thing going here. Don't tell Ken.
Now, both of you, both of our gold leaders, actually, when we had you on the show earlier this month, you both called out Zach Burkett individually. For Thomas, is there a strive to be the best of the Dragon Con 3? And Evan, why Zach Burkett?
I am the best of the Dragon Con 3. That's not me just saying that. That's in total number of questions correct over 6 years, and that's in total places over 6 years. I don't have to say anything beyond that. My record reflects that Zach and Marie, while they are both great players and they're going to do great things in the Schmoedown, they're number 2 and number 3 in whatever order you want to put them. And so I think that they're ahead of things, but I also know that the quality player they're always going to bring a challenge. And so I would love to face Zach. Zach in particular, I called out because in 2018, we had a 3-month-old at home, which kind of threw a wrench in my trivia prep plans, but I made it to the final 3. It's me, Alex, and Zach. And the question is, in 32 BBY, who is the senator representing Naboo? And I wrote down the correct answer, which is Bail Antilles. And then I sat there, and in a moment of pure exhaustion, because as the father of a newborn, I had like 1 hour of sleep in those last 3 months. I looked at it and I said, you know what? I think that needs to be Bail Organa. And I erased Antilles and wrote Organa in. I got knocked out. The very next question that Zach won on was name the Twi'lek member of the Max Rebo band, which is obviously Lin May. And I knew that. Obviously, I knew the answer to that immediately. I was sitting in the audience, and it's that moment where you're like, well, damn. And Alex blanked on it, and Zach won on the very next question. Now, I don't know what would have happened beyond that point with Zach and I, but I know that I would have been either first or second yet again in Dragon Con and would have had at least a chance for a three-peat, which is unheard of in Dragon Con. I'm the only person to defend my belt year to year. A three-peat would have been unheard of in that competition. So Zach rightfully won it. He has a great story that I hope he shares with you guys about that particular year and what that answer meant to him personally, because it was sort of like meant to be, but it was a lesson that like Bail Antilles will forever be burned into my brain because of that.
I just remembered
as a final question.
Alex Damon. I remember right after that happened, because I have experience with all of this just as a viewer and not as somebody involved with any of you. So I remember he made that video right after that. Like it's something like "I hate Lin May" or something like that. Right after
That's his penance.
Yes.
That's his penance.
And yeah, so I remember when all that was happening. I didn't realize Zach was involved with that too.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was about to say, like, that is every great Schmoedown player has that answer that gets burned into their very soul.
And we don't let him forget it.
It's great to know that Alex might actually have one, because other than his one IG loss, which was a deciding kind of victory, so like he didn't have like a falter moment in the Movie Trivia Schmoedown, at least. So hopefully there are enough questions in sudden death for one of you guys to get there.
Yeah, I mean, look, and we'll see what happens this season. I think I am going to be on the edge of my seat for either Molly or Laura to play him, and for Dimolante. I think those are going to be juggernaut matches, to say the least. But I'm telling you, if things work out the way that Christian is talking about and the Star Wars division expands, look out. Look out. If we go into the Mandalorian, Clone Wars, Rebels, you know, I think that the scales are going to tilt immensely, and you're going to see sort of a seismic shift in this division. But that's next season. We've got a lot of work to do in 2021.
So
I was going to say...
go ahead, Justine. It's been a while since
I
you
was going to say, are you wanting the Star Wars division to expand a little bit more than what it currently is offering? Because I know that there's talk about it, but do you guys want it to expand more to kind of broaden it a little bit?
Evan, you go ahead.
I was going to say, I feel like, and you know, anyone correct me if I'm wrong, I feel like the Mandalorian expansion is inevitable. But what I really want, and I know it's not canon, I would love some deep cut holiday special questions on this thing.
You and Bibiani both.
Yeah, I watch it every year,
off.
and I would love some, like, you know, what is the name of is it Harvey Korman or Art Carney? Harvey Korman is the one who plays the traitor in that special. I don't remember what his character's name was, but like stuff like that, I think we could really get into. But yeah, I think if it could expand to that. I actually have not seen the Ewoks movies either. So any of those other, like the Dark Ages Star Wars stuff would be really cool.
I'm going to bring something up I just saw. Kaiser announced it about an hour ago. Mara Knopic is entering the Star Wars division.
Yep. I heard that. Yeah. That's pretty sweet.
Damn.
That's crazy.
I like the fact that they did a movie poster, but Kaiser needs to do his homework and not use Soviet-made jets. I mean, I don't know if his goal was to be the enemy of everything that we stand for, but he's out there using Russian, not even a good Russian jet, like a very outdated Russian fighter jet. So I could tell you the Den is going to bring American-made fighter jet hardware to all of our matches. So we'll see his crummy Russian fighter with an F-15 or an F-22 Strike Eagle.
Would you accept Canadian-made jets, or that's out of the table?
What's that?
I need to jump in here. I do believe the Russians might currently be flying old Canadian jets.
Okay.
So we might
There's a reason you guys dumped him. I will say on this expansion, I think it's inevitable. I think the tide is that way, particularly with where the development of the films stand, because we're not going to get a film in 2021, but we are going to get several Star Wars series between this year and next year. I think to stay relevant and stay fresh, they've got to tap into those shows. Whether they go beyond The Mandalorian into the Clone Wars and Rebels is anybody's question, because that's animated versus live action. But I think by 2023, you're going to have this glut of live action shows to the point where the number of pure on-screen minutes of those shows in total is going to be really close to the number of minutes on screen of the films. And it's hard to, at that point, justify keeping them separate, particularly if these other shows are as popular as The Mandalorian. Because I think if I'm putting myself in the shoes of a fan, I'm like, the 12 movies are great and all, but how do you justify including the Clone Wars theatrical release and not The Mandalorian? You know what I mean? So I think it's inevitable. And I quite frankly, I think it will re-level the playing field, because it's going to open up some challenges in terms of studying and preparation for players that they haven't dealt with. Like, Dimalanta has been living in this world where 12 movies is it. And I'm here to tell you, there's a lot more Star Wars out there. And that's no slight against him, because he's an expert specialist in these movies. But when you lump in having to study for 7 seasons of the Clone Wars with, 100+ episodes with dozens of hours of content, another 4 seasons of Star Wars Rebels, by the time they get to it, another 2 seasons of heavily lore-laden Mandalorian episodes, buckle up. Because it's going to be tough. It's tough every year, and it gets tougher every year in Dragon Con to keep up with this stuff. But I think it's going to breathe fresh life. I think Star Wars will start to look a lot more like singles in terms of, how many questions it takes to get right. I think you're going to see a lot fewer of these, like, one question decides it all type matches.
I'm excited for it. I cannot wait for it to expand, to be honest. I really want it to.
You're going to have to watch Clone Wars and Rebels then.
I know. I've only watched Mandalorian right now.
They're so good. They're both
Really
so good.
Some of the most impactful moments in any Star Wars have occurred in those 2 shows.
That's what I've heard.
It's really great.
You will laugh, you will cry in both. And I'm here to tell you, like, I sat in the theater, a nearly empty theater in 2008 for the Clone Wars, and I was like, man, I don't know what they're going to do with this show. And it, like, looking back, to me, it's a very good movie. I love watching the Clone Wars now because I think it holds up. But at the time I was like, man, but 3 episodes in, season 1, episode 3, Rookies.
Oh my god.
Yes.
I love Rookies.
You'll be an Echo fan, you'll be a Fives fan, the entire Domino squad, you will
Heavy.
Yep.
All right,
sacrifice.
I am so excited. I just have the memory of watching Star Wars. Like, my first movie was Clone Wars with my dad. And it was like, Attack of the Clones. And it was halfway through the movie that I popped in and I started watching it. And my dad's like, do you like this? I was like, yeah, what is it? He's like, Star Wars, Justine. Let's watch Star Wars. And I was like, okay.
Nice. That's good.
God, I wish I had those moments with my parents. They didn't show me shit when it comes to movies.
My dad, aside from Star Wars, because he did his work well introducing me to that, but he must have been sitting there thinking, like, what is legally, how young can I show my son Terminator 2 uncensored and not get CPS, like Child Protective Services involved. And that age was 7. And I'm here to tell you that's too young to be exposed to Terminator 2 because to this day, the T-1000 and Robert, like I see Robert Patrick and I'm like, I get shivers down my spine. So
I think most of us have that story. I'm Leprechaun at 6 years old.
God.
I'm Play at 3.
Let's call it. We call that under the U.S. Constitution cruel and unusual punishment.
Yeah. Yeah. I have every time I think about that, it's like, what is wrong with my mother? Oh wait,
I don't know. Up north here, we just call it parenting.
Sit down and watch this and be happy about it.
Shut up and watch this. Oops, wrong video.
Rated R is just a suggestion.
Well, here's the thing. Like, it's funny. Like, the movie It. All I heard when it came out, it's rated R. It's rated R. In BC here, it was 14A.
Well, Canadians were always more laxed. Always more, except for our hockey. I think we take it a lot more seriously than certain parts of the U.S. Because
it took me so long to realize you were talking about like parental approval ratings. I am not used to what you just said at all. I was like, wait, what is this strange language you're speaking?
Yeah, I remember when I saw that for It, I was like, oh yeah, it makes sense.
Yeah, no. So yeah, that's. I'm trying to think of what my horrible memory is from childhood movies. I don't know if
obviously the holiday special is what it sounds like.
Yeah, yeah. I was traumatized ever since I was 17.
If
anybody.
If Total Recall ever becomes a thing, you're going to be the first in line at Recall to have that memory erased and replaced with something different.
I never saw the movie at that age, but I definitely saw the image of Arnold's eyes popping out, and that.
Oh my goodness!
Oh yeah, my Israeli friend, 50 Shades of Geek. You people have age ratings?
We take our kids to anything.
Yeah, but he also did throw this Star Wars thing out. Ahsoka versus Vader is his favorite lightsaber duel of all time.
And the thing is, what people miss with the lightsaber duels, I think Thomas will probably agree with me on here, is like you can have intense action, really great stuff. You can have all this, like all the flashy visuals you want, but if you don't make me care, then you're not succeeding. And the Ahsoka versus Vader duel, I'm bawling before any two lightsabers even touch. I am like, there is the part, and this is a spoilery, when
earmuffs.
Did I plug my ears? Did I plug my
ears? When Vader is saying that Anakin was weak and he destroyed him, and Ahsoka says, "I'll avenge his death," and then Vader says, "Revenge is not the Jedi way," and of course, the absolute banger, "I'm no Jedi." That kills me. I love Ahsoka so much. Like
that's when his mask gets broken and you see part of it during that fight. Holy shnikes!
It's like
she's so like
pure rage.
Yeah. So
yeah.
There's that moment of consideration where he's like, "Do I kill this? Do I kill this person right now?" And then he's like, "Yeah, fuck it, I'm killing."
Yeah, that whole fight has everything going for it. Not just is it a great fight, but you also have the backstory. You have the emotion. It has everything you could ever want.
Rematch of the century.
Yeah, 100%.
I know Mandalorian, rightfully so, gets all the credit these days, but I would stack season 3 and season 4 of Rebels against anything in the Star Wars universe to include
I'd agree with that.
My favorites, Empire and Jedi. That moment I think was from season 2, but I was literally on the edge of my seat. I remember going over to my buddy's house and we weren't really knowing what to expect that week. And, he like turned off the lights because we realized what was happening. Just like, oh shit, like get rid of all distractions. And I was like on the edge, like the furthest I could be out on his couch without falling on the floor as that happened. Yeah. So I still think they should have played Welcome to the Jungle as Vader like rides on top of his thigh to the front. Like
50,
how extra was that?
You're in the chat. I dare you to make that. I dare you to do that.
Please send it to me.
Yes.
I'll say my underrated favorite moment in any of Star Wars is blind Kanan teaching Sabine how to wield the Darksaber. Like just that history lesson. It's just underrated. My favorite moment in all of Star Wars.
And the score that plays during that scene is just incredible.
Blind Kanan getting his sight back also.
Yeah.
That's like, oh no. They get you in Rebels from the first episode. The whole thing when Kanan reveals that he's a Jedi, like I wish I didn't know that going in. You know, they marketed him as like the cowboy Jedi and everything for like months beforehand. I would have loved if I didn't know. That would have killed me.
For me, it's I'm not going to obviously spoil it for Justine, but it's the last time we see Kanan.
Oh yeah. Oh my gosh. Yeah. That's like Jedi. What the episode's Jedi Night, I think, is what it's called.
Yeah, it's one of the last.
That's such a good one.
We were looking at the past of Star Wars. I'm curious about the future of Star Wars. Is there one of the announced Star Wars shows that you're most excited for? Me, it's the Sith oriented one.
Yeah.
What about you guys?
I was probably going to say the Acolyte as well. I think Star Wars is best when it's pushing new frontiers with things we haven't seen before. And that sounds totally new and totally exciting. I'm really falling for this High Republic stuff right now. So I'm very excited to see where that goes.
For me, it's Rangers of the Republic. This period, I drank this period up when it came to EU material. Like, you know, the 90s, I'm a kid of the 90s. And so really, apart from 1999 and onward, when the prequels came around, the EU books were it as far as new Star Wars goes. And my favorite time period was post Return of the Jedi, this period that they're just starting to flesh out now, and getting to watch. Even in The Mandalorian, we've gotten a little bit of a look at it with Carson Teva and Trapper Wolf, the two X-Wing pilots that we see sort of out on patrol. I just love the idea of exploring like the rebellion going from this scrappy underdog insurgency into the governing body of the galaxy. And now everybody's looking to you. You came in with all these promises. Now you've got to govern. Now you've got to figure out how to bring this sort of new justice, this new law and order, and this new peace to the wildest parts of the galaxy. And so if we get to see a little Western action, if we get to see a little starfighter action, I love all of the ideas behind it.
Oh yeah, the possibilities of what's coming, man. It's amazing. Like,
and I think that's going to be one of the shows that build together, and they're talking about this sort of ultimate moment. I don't know whether it's going to be like a movie or a sort of a show miniseries or whatnot on Disney Plus, but the idea that you're getting an interconnected universe, not just that they've done already with the larger canon universe, but literally shows that are working together and are interlocked and marching toward sort of a common story. I think that's amazing.
The ending of the second episode this past season was awesome. Like I actually loved that episode because it was totally just out there and Western and everything. It became like a creature horror thing. But when Trapper Wolf and Carson Teva showed up, kills me. I love their presence in the show.
And there's a Canadian shout out. I was a huge fan of Kim's Convenience.
Yes.
Long before
He knows.
And I heard about the show early on, like right after it came to Netflix. NPR here, National Public Radio, had like a little story on it, and I was like on my way to work, and I was just listening to it. I was like, this sounds like a really good show. So my wife and I popped it in, started it up that night, and we blew through everything that they had, and I became a huge fan. I'm not going to say Paul's name because I'll butcher the actor's name, but he's like a 501st cosplayer. He's like a Star Wars fan to the core. Yeah. And to see him in Star Wars, I hope we get to see him in Rangers of the New Republic. But it's just amazing. If you haven't seen Kim's Convenience, you're missing out. Go check it out. On Netflix.
It's a Canadian TV shows. I feel don't get much appreciation because there's a lot of good ones in the last 20 years. I'm a big corner gas guy. Obviously, Schitt's Creek took everybody by storm, right? And then Kim's Convenience. Like, we got a lot of great comedies up here.
Yeah. Well, guys, thanks for having me on. I've got to jump off here, but it's been a blast. Evan, I hope we see each other either in the arena or out soon.
On the battlefield.
It's been a real pleasure.
Yeah, friends.
The battle of the gold leader. Thank you very much for joining us, Thomas.
Thanks, Thomas.
Thanks, guys.
But
Woo!
Now we got rid of that guy.
yeah, no, let's just talk shit about Thomas.
Yeah, pretty much.
No, I actually probably have to head out as well. I wanted to make that work to where we were both dropping out at the same time, but it didn't. So I'm still here awkwardly. So
Yeah. Hi.
Well, you're still here, but thank you, Evan, for stopping by. We are not only our final episode of the Rookie Spotlight Northern Consultations, the first person to reach out for to us, but also drafted on draft night. Excited to see what you can do in the coming year.
Thank you. It's been good.
All right, man. Thank you very much for joining us.
Thank you, guys. I really appreciate it. Have a great night.
Bye, Evan.
Yeah, you as well. Bye. That was fun.
That was fun.
Yeah.
2 Star Wars players coming on at the same time. And guess what? If you're still here after an hour, I'm going to tell you right now, we have a few more people who will be dropping by. So stay tuned.
This one actually slipped under my radar, unfortunately.
And Eddie is really good.
Did you ever hear the theories about that show? About how the second Ed and Eddie were actually dead? Or was like purgatory or something like that?
I have heard that, yes. Now
what was in
Schmoedown? Like, we had
of the best Canadian shows?
Oh, I was just saying, like, we've got, like, within the last 20 years, you've had, like, Corner Gas. Schitt's Creek obviously took the world by storm last year. Kim's Convenience, because the main actor was in Mando.
Yeah.
Okay. I wasn't sure if you were talking specifically shows that are made in Canada or shows that take place in Canada.
Well, Schitt's Creek takes place in Canada, correct?
I think so.
I think so.
Yeah.
Now,
yeah, definitely the other two do.
With these 2 fantastic personalities coming on, what do you think the 2021 year looks like for Star Wars? Are you excited after seeing those 2 live and in person?
Oh, 100%. I was excited going into it, seeing all the new influx, and then hearing about the possibilities of what could be added and stuff. But yeah, definitely talking to those 2. Yeah, I can't wait. Star Wars is secretly, even though I know shit about it outside of the movies, it's secretly becoming one of my favorite divisions.
I cannot wait to separate the gold leaders from the gold followers.
Ooh. Daniel, I wish that this was a Northern Consult. I wish that this was a regular episode of Schmoedown Night in Canada. That would be the episode title. Spoilers if they ever face each other. That's the episode title.
Oh, yeah. Well, hey, if it ever happens, we can clip this out. Clip that out.
Oh, we're clipping it out anyway.
Yeah, but okay, fair enough.
Yeah. So we had so with both of them coming on, and teams taking a bit of a back seat.
1 second.
Would you like to see the 2 of them play right away in Star Wars, or would you prefer a little bit of build up to see the 2 of them face off?
Oh, build up, hands down, build up.
I disagree.
Okay.
I think you take playing each other. Maybe you wait a little bit, see how their records develop, because I think both of these guys, you don't want the Dragon Con players taking each other out, and Gold Leader here, Evan, seems as highly regarded as them because it sounds like he was heavily scouted, and so I think you set them up against the smaller rookies, and I think you aim for match 3 against each other. But I want to see this number 3 pick go up against the least respected Star Wars veteran, Joseph Scrimshaw.
I would love to see that also. And also, you know who else I'd love to see? Our next guest dropping in fresh off the draft.
Louis Monette.
Monette, yes.
I'm actually loved for once.
No.
Man, way to ruin my segue. Here's these guys.
Holy shit, Jake in the juice.
I have to take this. Boys, we were talking before on stereo, on Twitter. We're like, let's make this happen. Let's make this happen. It fucking happened. You're in the Schmoedown, baby.
And how does it feel to officially be in the league?
First of all, I just have to say, Frenchie, you are always loved. Jake,
how does it feel to actually be in the league? It's crazy, man. When I saw on the list that I was going to be on the draft list, I was like, whoa, we got work to do. We did it, and I was just like, it's crazy. So it's been a crazy few weeks, but we're here. We got here. I'm a little salty that Jesse Swift was drafted prior to me, but we're here.
When I heard Jesse Swift, I'm like, oh, he's not going to be happy.
You guys saw our video?
We've got a reaction.
Well, our reaction to him was better than our reaction to actually getting drafted.
So
our reaction to getting drafted is just like, yay. Our reaction to him was like, it's like Super Saiyan.
We were locking in the draft, so no, I did not see the reaction, but I'm definitely going to go back and at least check his face and see his expressions. All right.
Yeah.
Dan, you were going to say?
yeah, I have a question for you here, Jacob. Is it going to be particularly tough for Sam to both manage you and star as you?
I'd like to say I exactly know what you mean, but
I'm just saying you look alike. Sam Levine could easily play you.
appreciate that.
I think me and Sam are actually like at the same height. Jake is probably taller than Sam. I gotta look it up on Wikipedia, but
when I was first, I think Justin had Juice. Sorry, I think Juice had the same reaction that I did. You know, after a little bit after being drafted, it was just like, sweet, I was drafted by Sam Levine. How do you contact Sam Levine? Which I'm sure he'll contact me. It's crazy.
This is my question. Did you talk to Sam Levine, or this is like out of the left field?
Out of left field. You know, I mean, don't get me wrong. This is an amazing faction, and I'm super stoked for this season. But, you know, I've done several podcasts, and the people I've been talking to, Juice, obviously, I've been hearing name drops from, you know, and certain little interactions from this manager and that manager and this name drop and that name drop. And so usual suspects, you know, when he said on the stream, I'm sorry if I totally mispronounced this name, I was like, whoa, that's out of the blue. And like, I think that's his whole draft though, right? I mean, holy cow.
Yeah,
it's go ahead.
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, you've got, considering you're pegged for two different divisions, IG and Star Wars, you've got Amaru on one side and Marie E. Wilson on the other. Like, you have some insane study partners, as well as so many great people to surround yourself with.
I'm really hoping personally that Rachel Cushion will be like, Juice, you don't have to watch these 1,200 movies. I have a big notepad that you can have and train Jacob with. Be like, thank you. I don't want to watch Catwoman 7 times, please. But I will if I have to. I will if I have to. But I don't want to. So
Movie's that bad.
But we will be ready. We'll be ready. I don't want to watch Catwoman.
I know you don't.
So it'd be awesome. Like Rachel Cushion, Mario Moses, Murray Wilson, whatever they want. Whether they want him in IG, Star Wars, we're gonna be ready. We're gonna be ready to rock and roll. Whether we have the support, I already have like I said, I think I said on our original like interview, and it's even like doubled since. People are like, we want to help. We want to help him study. I'm starting to take auditions just to help him study. But if we had Rachel Cushing's help, that would be even better. So we're excited for that for sure.
Yeah.
I don't know. You've got Amaru, who is apparently untouchable in the wizarding world, but I might need to send in an audition tape to be one of your trainers.
I mean, I personally have only seen the Harry Potter movies once, and so I want all the help in the wizarding. He knows them, but I am gosh. Whenever they ask those like, who's the disciple of the dark arts, and I'm like, I feel like they've asked this question 7 times, but it's always different. And so I'm like, I don't know anything about this, so I need to learn a lot.
Yeah,
but I'll be ready to study.
The trick is there's a different one every year.
Yeah.
Now, Sam drafts you, and Juicy drafts a whole team, right? There's a machine, a whole cog behind you, Jake. So, again, how cool is it to think that you might have the Smasher in that team? And does it change anything, like when it comes to the dynamic of what you think the team is going to be? Now you know it's who's your manager, or it's still on track, same plan?
I mean, practically speaking, on track, same plan. I mean, it's like Juice was just saying, tonight we celebrate, tomorrow we study. And that doesn't matter if I was going to get drafted by Finstock or Stars or Dan or whoever. I'm going at it. I'm going hard. Yeah. I am going to study like crazy. I'm going to watch all those movies like crazy. I'm going at it, and I will not go into my first match unprepared.
Yeah. We'll adjust as needed depending on the faction, but the plan that we have in place is still going forward.
Now, and I'll also have another out of the box question here, but imagine I'm Sam Levine, a lot less sexy, I know, a lot less money, I know, but still, imagine I'm Sam Levine, right? What would be your first pitch when we go in live studio for the first time? What would you pitch me as your first intro, your first spectacle, right? Before the match.
Are we talking names, or are we talking promos and pitches and stuff like that?
Oh no, I'm talking about the whole. I forgot the word in English, but when you come on scene, Bibiani's famous for it, right?
The whole intro. Your intro, your stage, your walk-in.
Yeah, when we're walking in, regardless of the player, what are we doing? Oh gosh, I mean, what aren't we doing? Yeah, we'll do it all for sure.
Yeah,
yeah. I mean, I'll write some guitar songs and stuff if I have to. We'll come up with some guitar intros. We spent between the two of us, we probably spent 10 hours on that promo. The last promo that we did.
The most recent promo. That's not even including the first one.
That's just the promo. So we're going to be willing to drop countless hours into actual Schmoedown matches and stuff. So we're going to be ready regardless. Obviously, everything depends, but we're gonna be ready to rock.
Talking about that promo, even Harloff commented on it. Do you think it's one of those things that might actually pushed Sam Levine to pick you guys because he actually saw it and he loved your vibe? Do you think it influenced?
Well, we definitely didn't lose points. I'll tell you that. Yeah. It was really we really wanted to. At the beginning of draft week, we wanted to set the tone, being we want to make sure that every manager knows exactly who I am, who we are going into the draft. And when we did that, especially after Christian support in the comments and on stereo, it was that was huge points for us. And hearing that Sam, learned about us and learned about it is huge. And that proves that we achieved that goal, which is really encouraging because, again, Sam was not, Sam is a phenomenal manager, and I'm so excited to work with him. But he wasn't one of those managers throughout this whole process that I had heard from or had much interaction with. So I was super encouraging. We did it.
We had slight interaction, very slight interaction, at least slight, with 5 of the managers, and then the other 3 we had no interaction. And Sam was one of those 3 that we had no interaction with. So we're happy. We're very happy with it, obviously. But we're excited, and gosh, the possibilities are endless.
I'm totally thinking of Sam as Littlefinger from Game of Thrones.
Was it? Didn't you?
He didn't do his scouting. He let everyone else do it, and he just spied on them.
We all know how it ended for Littlefinger.
Didn't you predict Jacob to get drafted by Usual Suspects on our stream?
I'm not sure if I was the one. I do remember.
One of the two of you
I
did.
do remember one of us did pick Usual Suspects.
But I think it was. I think it was.
Yeah.
I thought Frenchie did Exchange.
Well, one of you guys wins something.
Do you remember French?
we would have to you know what? I said Exchange, you said Suspect.
Yeah, I think you said Usual Suspects, Daniel.
Dan, I think
Yeah, we
I have a pretty
recorded
good memory.
14 interviews within
Yeah,
3 days.
It was obviously more memorable to us.
That was hands
for sure.
down
But
the
yeah.
worst 3-day stretch of my life.
Oh,
I want to
man.
say,
I'm so sorry.
I want to say
Whoa.
right now. Earlier today, Daniel was boasting about how great his memory is. Where are you now, Daniel?
No, I remember
man.
that moment because I remember you said Usual Suspects. I think Juice was just like, I haven't heard anything from that.
Yeah, I was like, it'd be great, but like, I don't think so.
Yeah.
Lo and behold.
Here we are.
So you were right.
Now,
Perfect. Love it.
talking about the draft, it was a big event, right? I'm sure you had some surprises along the way too. Which moment of the draft that really made else than you being drafted made you go like, "What the hell was happening?"
I mean, even just the first. I mean, obviously Mara getting picked first was pretty, but then
Went to the
Amaru
dungeon to
getting
boot.
post, getting picked second overall was like,
We were just
Okay.
like, we both were just like, this draft
What?
is different.
yeah, this is
draft
not
is
what was expected.
different.
But I did say that Frenchie on our stereo. I was like, I bet Amaru could get picked first or second. Or I was saying first or second round. I wasn't thinking first or second pick.
And
So that's
to
pretty
be
crazy.
fair to the last draft, was James White not picked second overall?
He was. But that was right, for sure. Right, for sure.
Yeah,
That was Burnett going wild and
No, something for me personally that really just like blew my mind was how long Winston waited on getting Ace back on the team.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
I was like, what are
Yeah.
you doing, man?
Oh,
You're
yeah.
gonna lose him. So when he got him back, I was like, I was close.
Molly
What-
Damon was the one for me. She
Yeah,
went
that too.
way later.
Yeah. That's
The thing about Molly going to the dungeon for me is I'd actually been hearing the last month or so that Dan and Mara did not want to be on the same faction together. So when she got picked by the dungeon out of that, I was like, oh, okay, what changed?
That was slightly different. Molly and Alex did not want to play on the same faction. Roxy pursued Molly heavily last year in free agency, but they decided they did not want to be in the same team. Dan and Mara was slightly different in that they wanted to aim for different factions so that they wouldn't that Mara wouldn't be lumped in as Dan's girlfriend within the show, because she is like a damn good player in her own right, and honestly,
That's never going to happen
her
with that
best
year.
year, Dan Murrell wasn't even in the league, so like, what are we even talking about here? But then yeah, and they did say, like, if they found the right fit with the same manager, then they're not going to preclude themselves from both going there.
All right. So
well,
look,
yeah. No, what were you gonna say?
I was just gonna say, look, boys, thank you very much for dropping. Unless there's another little thing you want to drop, Juice.
No, yeah, I was just gonna say we got to get going. We got to get going back to our stream. My podcast is doing a surprise thank
Round
you
robin
celebration
party.
stream for Jacob. So, but I love it.
I was just saying, it's not really a surprise if you just said it with him said next to you.
Well, it was a surprise. It was surprises, and we hadn't announced it until he got drafted. But there's nothing I love more than my Wednesday night interview with Frenchie. We had a fantastic time.
Oh, yeah,
I am
love
down.
it. I listened to that.
Schmoes of the North, hanging with Frenchie on stereo, whatever you guys want. I'm always down for it. I love it.
Amen.
So thank you guys so much for having us on. Super excited you asked us, and we're excited to be where we are, and we're gonna make waves. We're gonna do what we gotta do. We're gonna make it happen.
And for people who don't know, they were nice enough. They're doing a stream, then drop out a stream and to go to our show. So they are awesome. We're not gonna hold you back later. But again, thank you very much for being on. I cannot wait to see you kick some
Best of
ass.
luck coming up in this season, guys.
Oh yeah.
All right.
All right. Have
Thank
a good
you,
time.
guys.
Yes.
Have a good time.
All right. See you.
See ya.
This has been a great show so far.
Great show. And to those of you who are still watching, if you're not subscribed and you know anyone who isn't subscribed, tell them to subscribe. We need one more subscriber to 150 subs, and that is exciting.
Take their phone, subscribe for them. Do something.
Exactly. John
Yeah, I'm looking
Kaiser,
at
I
149.
see you in the live chat. If you want in on this stream, text us. You have our information.
Oh, look who was in the chat. Holy shit.
Kaiser, if you wanna go down to the stream, we'll send you a freaking link right away, man.
Yeah. You send us a link. Hop on. I don't even put that. I see that comment. Don't even put it on. But anyway, Kaiser, and I'm not just saying that because he's in here though. We've talked a lot about him, but what a glow up this season will be for him if he can deliver on everything that he has promised right now. He has one of the best drafts of the night. He has probably the best free agency signing. I think all eyes are on Kaiser right now.
Do you think he's had the biggest overhaul from what his faction looked like last year compared to this year? It has to.
Oh yeah.
He kept Adam Witt, and that's what's important.
Yes.
And Robert Parker.
Your best friend.
Well, yes, but I mean in free agency, in drafting.
But I'm telling you, just on the people he's played up, like his team is completely different than who it was last year.
Oh yeah, it's so much more rounded out, complete, a beautiful mix of veterans and rookies. I can't wait to see my team win. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. Judge it for life, man.
Yeah.
Look, I'll give you that one. You didn't see much of it last year.
Whoa. Like, what an insane draft night it is. Now, Christian, obviously we pulled up the comment. Christian announced that the draft is going to finish and he's going to make some announcements on stereo. Who are the big people we think are going to get signed tonight, essentially? Who are the big players?
Hey, boys, 152, baby.
Woo!
Yeah.
Thank you, 50.
Oh man, this growth has been so extraordinary since 2021 started. Thank you, everyone who supports this channel.
And thank you, Dave's friend, whose name I forget.
Thank you, bro. But yeah, this is extraordinary. To answer the question, James White has to be taken. I know you guys shit on him a bit, but I still believe he can do something.
Well, I didn't shit on him. It's just, to me, I only saw one, or I didn't see enough for the hype to match the player for me. Yeah.
James White, the Wizard, I think, is someone, because he has a lot of other league tape. He is someone who I think could be massive this year if placed on the right faction and given the right opportunities.
Yeah. And also, it didn't help with him, though. It's just the whole COVID kind of cut off the legs of a lot of people last year that we were supposed to see a lot more of.
It really did.
And that's why, I'm factoring that all in. I think he's gonna go. I really hope our Canadian boy Asano gets taken, man.
Yeah.
I liked what I saw. I really liked what I saw. He has a very big knowledge base of Star Wars, and he did the best promo out of the whole Northern Consultation.
Yeah, for sure. Unfortunately, the thing that is very detrimental to him is just how late he submitted his thing. It was really down to the wire. If it hadn't been for that, he would definitely have gone earlier.
Yeah. James Shimo, also Campbell. He is the underdog story. He is the underdog story. I really hope gets picked.
I can see him getting picked tomorrow.
Yeah. Or no, it's on stereo. Is it
being done right now? Or is it being done
now? No. We just popped up. I think 50 Sheets. Yeah.
110%. I am all in on Ross Arsenault. Like, out
for
of
sure.
people I didn't see drafted in that first 7 rounds, like, he's my if there's going to be a sleeper pick in Star Wars, this is it, because he came in so late. There wasn't enough time to do research, but the amount of just questions he knew out of memory that happened in specific matches tells me the way trivia works in his brain is different.
That is true. Let me just.
Yeah.
Now,
God bless you, 50.
I can't wait to have you on the show. You are definitely one person we need on this show.
Yeah, it's unfortunately
100%.
timing because
Well,
you obviously weren't able to join us on the pre-draft thing. Daniel was on the other thing, but yeah, 50. He told me that he really wants to meet you two.
Did we lose a subscriber somehow?
all right, guys, we're not talking about our subscribers anymore. We hit it. Good for us.
Okay. Well,
Yes,
I was gonna go on a tangent about Pokemon. There's only 151 in Gen 1.
Oh god. Oh man. But yeah, this is there any other wow moments we haven't talked about when it comes like a certain draft? Or you know what, before the wow
Not
moments.
say wild, you say berries.
Wow, berries.
No, but I mean, like Laura going to Swag. Was that a surprise that she didn't go to Corruption?
Who?
Laura.
No, I'm not. I mean, she was bound to be picked before. A lot later than I thought she would, but she was bound to be picked. Does anyone know who the hell that person is that Finstock exchanged in the first round? Not exchange.
I was gonna say you could say that about a few of his picks,
but especially his first round, because if he picked first
Yeah,
round, is there anyone who interviewed him?
No, I can't think of none.
No, I can't think of. I can't think of any. But talking about the Laura Kelly thing, Justine actually had a really good point.
My thing with Laura Kelly is that, I feel like she should have been drafted further, like earlier than she would have. Honestly, she was still on the board. She was still there. And even with Corruption being so far away, yes, we all thought that she would go with Corruption, but she was on the board. She was there. She was ready. She's shown herself. And I think that, it's a great play to go get her and keep her on your team, to be honest. And that it's a kind of a loss for Corruption a little bit to lose her.
It is, but yeah, it is. But it sucks for Corruption. It's good for her personally. I think a little change of scenery might be better, right?
Yeah, I agree with that. Now,
does anyone know what this means?
No, I don't know what that means.
Jay, explain. Articulate, my friend.
Yeah. Put down the weed and articulate, please.
Now, I think an interesting thing, Roxy, I think, is in a very... How do we feel about Roxy's position? Because she goes into this season with the most champions on the board. She has the team's champions and the Star Wars champion. Do we think Roxy covered her bases to be able to claim that singles and IG belt this year, or at least contend?
I think your question is, do they all have sexy numbers?
Yeah. Oh, yeah, for sure. This is the next question. She has to evolve sexy numbers because she can do it for a whole season. How does she evolve sexy numbers? Like, what are stitch can she add to that?
Are there anti-sexy numbers?
Well, she already does it for the competitors. She's like, that's not sexy. That sucks. So, like, how do you advance for sexy number games?
I don't know. Here's the thing. Do you have to advance perfection? I say no. I say it's a great bit. Just keep doing the bit.
I was gonna say you just add an extra dice.
That'd do it.
Yeah. All right. Perfect. So while we wait for because we got our people potentially coming on, anyone who is still watching our show right now has any questions for us, please shoot them. I know Jay Wade, you have opinions that can go for years and years. So
I've got something.
All right.
Super sexy numbers.
Like
6 and 9.
Finstock picking the Rager and Brother Lomas.
Yeah.
That's where I'm gonna start.
I'm surprised Brother Lomas actually got picked in the draft just because there was literally nothing on the guy.
There's
True,
enough
but managers,
mystery, right?
yeah, and managers have more access to these players than we do.
Of course.
And yeah, like I'm sure there were different levels of it, but like it sounds like there were basically managers holding full rookie combines and things like that. But one thing I was interested to see this season was the interaction between Brother Lomas and the Rager, because Brother Lomas is this preacher, this father figure, and the Rager is the exact opposite of that. The untamable, unteachable, uncoachable. Like it was these two personalities that I was really looking forward to like colliding into each other, and now they're on the same faction, so that might not happen, or it's the Finstock exchange, so maybe it does happen.
And here's hold up.
Oh, yeah. Sorry, Jerry. Yeah, baby.
No,
James
put that Leo comment.
Corruption drafting James White. I love that.
But yeah, James, Jay says shocked that there were so many rookies drafted. Do you agree?
It's to be expected. There's so many freaking rookies on the ballot, right? That it was going to be slightly overbalanced for the rookies. So I'm not surprised.
I would also say that with the expansion to 3 matches a week and more throwdowns, I think the opportunity for rookies to play is way higher than it was last year. Last year, we saw most people who got drafted not play a single match. This year, I think we'll be seeing something a little different.
Okay. Just so we're all aware, I'm paying attention to Harloff's Twitter, so I can let you know who gets drafted.
All right.
Yeah,
perfect.
except I don't actually see. Okay.
It's his latest tweet about
that.
White.
Doesn't matter as long as Soda tells us or the chat tells us. That's why you guys in the YouTube chat and the Facebook chat need to keep on Schmoes of the North. Share this video, like this video, and make sure you're putting in the comments who is getting drafted so that we can pay attention to you. We don't have to pay attention to Harloff. We can just pay attention to you.
Who needs Harloff?
We're trying to get Harloff on the show at some point, so we have to pay attention to Christians. Okay, that's the one person whose ass I'm willing to kiss at this point.
One little seat at a time. It's gonna happen, Soda.
Yeah,
but
I know.
we're getting there.
I feel
Okay,
like
wait.
did a
This
really
is-
great thing, and everyone shot me
Okay,
down. So I'm
sorry.
not a fan.
Sorry, I cut out and I came back, and all I heard was Soda saying, and I quote, "That is the only person whose ass I am willing to kiss right now." And now, everyone, please, in only one word, give me a clue as to who this is.
The chairman himself.
That was
not
so
one
many
clue.
more than one word.
Oh, come on.
I've had a beer. Leave me alone.
Now, okay, but what do we think? Do we think James White is a good pick for corruption?
Oh, breaking news. In the second pick of the 8th round, Swag selects Bradley Tingle.
Tingle me silly. I don't know who that is.
All right, so we can stay
Okay.
on James White.
Yep.
Yeah, okay.
Sorry,
I
Tingle.
do agree with you, Dave. Weren't we looking for a gameplay player to help Mark Edward Hoyk with the gameplay aspect of the Schmoedown.
Yep.
James White coming from the other leagues and being from a different generation from Mark Hoyk is it. All of those things lend credence to that being a plausible team up.
Oh, you're not wrong. That actually would be a great team up.
Yeah, I think.
All right, good night, 50. Thank you for joining us on our other show. Thank you for staying up, man. We'll see you in a few hours.
Of all people who watched, he is the man because, like, again, he's an Israeli. I don't know what time it is right now, but you got to be tired, bro.
It's 7 a.m. It's literally on the screen.
Damn.
Yeah, international treasure, man. Thank you very much, 50. Have a good night.
Needs 50 shades of sleep now.
Yeah.
Oh. Ding, ding, ding.
All right, and what else? Okay, I do want to talk about Stacey Howard. Did she land the right place? Did she land the right rounds in your opinion?
I actually like where she ended up. I really do.
I said this both on Facebook, and I'm sorry that this is like slightly not about Stacey particularly. I think the Stacey Howard archetype is someone that every faction needs. It's the person who...
Breaking news, the Stars picked Brittany Young.
Oh!
No one talked about her too, huh? That was a
sleeper under the radar.
Yeah.
And who picked her up?
The Stars.
The Stars.
So Roxy.
Yeah.
That's good. That's really good.
I like that a lot. But I think the Stacey Howard...
Wait. Jericho's in the dungeon now, and Brittany Young is a star?
Oh, that is... She's picking Kaiser off.
Yeah.
But the Stacey Howard archetype that is the person who's always going to get a match but is never going to be in contention for a belt is the archetype that everyone needs in their faction. It's the person who's going to win a lot, but the top guys only play the top guys. So they play maybe 2 times, 3 times a year.
Mm-hmm.
Stacey played 3 times this year, and she's nowhere near belt contention. And she wasn't even in the tournament.
That's right, she wasn't, which was a little strange for me.
She said she didn't want to. So I think Stacey is going to be an asset no matter what.
News. Finstock Exchange selects Kim Taylor Foster.
Ooh, I like that pick, actually.
Yeah, explain to me who that pick is.
Kim Taylor Foster is, if you're familiar, she's been a occasional pundit on SJU over on Screen Junkies. She's a fandom writer.
Oh, that's right. Okay, no, I know who she is now.
Oh,
yeah. No, I've read a few of her articles. I know who she is now. That's actually that's a pretty good pick.
That's a really good pick, and I'm glad to see that this is happening now as opposed to over the course of the next 2 days because we get to talk about it. Because guys, up next is Coy. Will Coy reunite the Real Rejects?
He has to at this point.
Yeah, he has to. Don't give Shannon a pick between the Real Rejects. And that's coming from me.
With the 5th pick in the 8th round, Quirky Merc select Sabrina Ramirez.
Oh
wow!
I like that choice. I think she will flourish better under Coy than she did than she would have under Finstock.
Mm-hmm. Remind me, where did Brandon Hanna end up?
Brandon Hanna ended up with the Stars.
Because they had that We Are the Power Couple now promo at Spectacular. So it's interesting to see them go to different factions.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas, like, the actual power couple both went to the dungeon.
Well,
that's true. Yeah, one of the actual power couples.
I mean, there's 5 divisions between Dan Murrell and Mara Kanopik.
Yeah, that's true. Oh,
Now,
yeah. So Wade thinks it's wasted that she went to the Stars.
well, she went to the Quirky Mercs.
Oh, yeah. Sorry. Well, no. He's literally. I don't know what he's saying in the chat.
Don't
Hold on. The dead.
Now,
6th pick. Rachel Silvestrini.
Okay. Rachel Silvestrini.
Is the
Do you think
Pride
she'll
back
only be
together?
a team player this year?
Maybe.
And if so, who do you see her teaming up with now that she has paired with Kate again?
That's hard for me to. That's hard for me to say at this point. I don't know.
No, it's an interesting concept because I think Rachel is someone who has been. She was obviously the best player on Icky and the Brain. No surprise there.
Mm-hmm.
But she also played very well when she was a part of the Pride. Is there a chance we see the Pride continuing to be a team?
Honestly, that is pretty likely because they did actually play pretty decently together.
They did, and I think that the Pride, Ben Goddard and Rachel Silvestrini, could work together again. And you get the
pick in the 8th round goes to the usual suspects. Sam Levine selects Nikki DeMolanta.
Yes.
Oh,
I like that.
Again, I might actually disagree with this pick over my boy Ross Arsenault, but I do think Nikki DeMolanta is like a truly underrated player by her own standards because I've watched her play and she knows quite a bit.
Well, you'd have to be a part of the Movie Trivia Schmoedown. And who was it that Andrew got drafted with again? Sorry, her husband.
Andrew DeMolanta went to the Mercs.
Okay.
now what do we think Sam's game is here? He drafts Molly Damon last year. Now he drafts Nikki DeMolanta. Why? He's just a big fan of picking up and training.
No. Final pick in the 8th round. Dungeon picks John Flickinger. Flick pick himself.
Wow. Yeah, that's someone who we didn't even talk about.
No. DeMolante's with the Mercs. 50,
right.
Go to bed.
Who needs sleep? Apparently my baby doesn't.
Yeah, no shit. So did you catch everything that happened, Lou?
Nope. What happened?
Okay, so Sabrina Ramirez is part of the Mercs. Silvestrini's back with the Den.
Yes.
Nikki DeMolanta is with the Suspects, and John Flickinger's gone to the Dungeon.
John.
He's one of the OG YouTube reviewers.
Okay. All right.
Yeah. He was at the same time as Johns and Harloff and Ellis, like that far back.
Flickinger, it's interesting that he went so late given his status.
Mm-hmm.
But like barely talked about at all, right? So
he was on Frank's top 10 rookies to watch,
but still barely talked. So it's a lot of our information coming from other fan shows and interviews and the Sphere, right? And this is the first time I'm like remembering him, so I'm not surprised at the same time.
Okay,
yeah,
so
it's
the first pick
hard
of the
to
9th round.
value. I was going to say, just it's hard to value a true rookie over even a person from another league with game tape, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead.
Okay, so first pick, Dungeon in the 9th round. It goes to Chris Van Vliet. The Dungeon picks Chris Van Vliet, who is an upcoming wrestling writer. That's how I know him. He's an upcoming wrestling podcaster and stuff.
Interesting.
Wrestling podcaster.
Yeah.
Okay, not writer.
Well, writer, podcaster. He's in that. He does all that stuff.
He's
Now-
a 4-time Emmy-winning TV host.
Oh, damn.
Oh.
All right. So
Yeah, he knows his shit.
Now-
watch out, Ellis.
Now, could you? Is he a? No, Travis, go to bed.
Don't encourage people to leave the stream, except for 50 Shades.
No.
It's really.
Go to bed, but leave the stream running because we need the views.
Yeah, exactly, Travis.
Oh wow.
Um,
Oh wow.
no, I would,
Like the video.
I would say. I just have a question. Is he WWE or is he Impact or what's it called?
The all around. Okay, second pick in the 9th round. Usual suspects select Doug Benson.
Mhm.
He was signed in free agency to the Usual Suspects last year and did not play a single round.
Mm-mm.
I didn't even know he was available.
Yeah, he was still in the draft.
Interesting.
Oh, are the last
I am in
not
bed. I
picked?
just didn't say I was going to sleep, did I?
Yeah.
Touche.
Oh, okay.
What's going on, Luke?
No, nothing.
Okay.
This Doug Benson tweet also says, and so does the Dungeon one, that they now have full rosters. Are they filling the last 3 spots of each faction through some sort of like agency?
Well,
It was 12 per faction. And so we had the 3 picks from the free agency last week that would make 9 rounds of the draft. So this is the last round. Yeah,
I see.
yeah, because you got to include the free agents from last week.
Also, like, I think it is still within manager's purview to say, I'm going to hold the spot. That's how Shannon got Adam Collins last year.
True, but you can just drop a player at the same time. So why hold the spot when you can fill it with someone that could potentially get a match in the meantime?
Shannon didn't need it.
Shannon had a drop, and I mean, dropping players, it was a lot of circumstances last year because the draft was new. A lot of people kind of like dedicated and then dropped out. Now Skybound is in. There's contracts. There's it's a lot more paperwork. So I think the scenario dropping is going to be a lot harder this year. So it is kind of smart to leave a blank open. If
I would also point out that Shannon did fill her roster, but there was scheduling conflicts with Rick Ramos, and therefore he couldn't play, and that's why she had an open spot. But then there were people who dropped on that free agency day. I'm pretty sure Swag dropped, Ed Greer, who had, again, scheduling conflicts, but he
Yeah,
hadn't
there was a lot of people dropped for
officially
that reason,
dropped.
Sorry.
I said, yeah, that there was a lot of people dropped at that time who couldn't compete. So, yeah.
All right.
Okay.
Come on, Harloff.
The third pick in the 9th round goes to the Quirky Mercs. You got your wish, John Humphrey.
Woo!
Real rejects. Hey, again, well.
Okay.
Wait, I'm missing a beat here. Who Dewberry went to who?
Nobody
Dewberry
picked
has not
Dewberry.
been drafted yet.
What the fuck?
I agree.
Maybe he's not playing this year.
He's on the list, and for God's sake, Elliot Dewberry and John Rocha are the 2 longest storied competitors.
No, Riley, come on.
And sorry, no, Riley retired.
Oh, okay. And yeah, so did Merle, yeah. Wait,
Rocha?
Dewberry really is up there for longest tenured?
Elliot
From
played
season 2.
season 2.
Holy shit. Because, yeah, I'm trying to think who in season 1 from season 1 would still be around.
Not many.
Nope. Fourth pick in the 9th round, Finstock Exchange selects Taylor Robinson.
I was hoping to go to corruption.
Yeah. This is going to be a great fucking round, great year.
How many picks do we have left for the stereo one?
4.
4, yeah.
3. No. The den already went, so we have 3 picks left.
All right. Taylor Robinson, Finstock.
Okay,
All right.
do we want to answer Trevor's? It's Trevor, correct?
Travis.
Do we want to answer Travis's question about the fan leagues that I had up?
Yeah, sure.
Well, okay. So how do you feel the FCL is going to affect the Schmoedown moving forward? This is the new AHL, as it were.
I think it's the best thing that can happen to Schmoedown. I really think so. Me and Jay Wade talked about it off and on air as well. It's the next step if you want to evolve. You have so many players on your faction. Let's say Star Wars, there's so many players, right? But there's still probably not an explosion of matches. They practice, they get their shit together, and they're not going to be stale. Yeah, and that actually brings something else. I think. I think it was Goose. Yeah. I'm
going to pause that thought for a second, and we'll let you continue. 5th pick, Swag selects Frank Moran.
All right.
Okay. Not a bad pick because he played very well in his James White match.
Yeah.
And he's a solid teams player. Mm-hmm. I would say though about the fan leagues, and I don't know if Justine has anything to add to this, but the minor leagues, not the fan leagues. Do you think this will have a negative impact on those other leagues?
No.
The other leagues are trying to do their own thing, right? So no, not really.
Yeah.
But that actually, I want to talk about concerning like the AHL of Schmoedown. This is, I think, me and Juice talked about it. If not, it was Dan.
Corruption picks Claudia Dolph, has decided to leave one spot vacant and will have 11 spots with one open spot this year.
She's learned lessons. She needs her spot open.
She needs her Adam Collins.
Exactly.
Yeah, you never know what can drop eventually, right? Yeah. It is going to evolve because now I think scouts are going to play into account next year.
Yeah, and then there's this as well. It gives the rookies a chance to develop, to build up their characters, so they'll have something. They'll be ready to go when they get the call up, which most of them will.
Right.
Agreed.
Like I was saying, scouts are going to play account probably because look at what Finstock did. If he did the Moneyball technique, right, and he went into pure details with the rookies, there's something to say that someone could study the whole year, see who is potential, and they might be not ready for next season, but maybe in 2 years they're still going to draft them and put them in the minor leagues, right? So scouts might actually play a big part of next year, and it's going to really contribute with the AHL Schmoedown. Yeah. So it's going to be a thing, man.
I don't disagree with 50 Shades saying and I don't disagree that leaving a roster spot open now isn't a bad idea. I just don't think it benefits you to go into the season without it full. This gives you more scouting time for that last player, but again, you might as well just fill the roster with someone who could get a match.
But is there any restriction on when you can fill that last spot, right? Because if you just have that spot and you see someone that you like, could you not go to Christian and say, I want that person?
Well, hold on.
I don't know.
Oh, yeah, apparently that's it. The draft is done.
Yeah, Christian has made it pretty clear that the managers have the power to just drop players when they want.
Mm-hmm.
Now that means Campbell didn't get picked. That's
a bummer,
man. Fuck.
Neither did Arsenal.
Yeah.
So
not as much surprising with that one than it is with Campbell, though.
Yeah.
Jay, I would point out the Stars. You may have forgot they doubled up in the third round, and honestly, Swag shouldn't be off. I'm pretty sure they picked in 8 and 9. Did they?
I think so.
Did they just pick 2 players?
I think so. Honestly, it's late. Mistakes on our end are gonna happen. It's not late for Soda, but it is almost 1 o'clock for the rest of us.
Yeah, that's true.
True. And I've been up since 4:30 a.m. So yeah.
Yeah, for me, I've been up since 5. Yeah, since 5:45 my time. So I get the tired part.
But you know what? Schmoedown is worth the fatigue. It's worth the baggy eyes and needing more coffee. But yeah, overall, boys, it feels different this draft than last draft. It really feels more special. I can only imagine next draft what the hell is going to happen, because if it jumped from the quality of last draft to this one, and it wasn't even live, right? It was on cam, which, by the way, I want to say, I think this format of draft works a lot better than the live event.
I don't know,
I
man.
disagree.
The live is fun. Everyone's drinking. Everyone's having a good time.
It's a kind of a hot mess at the same time. This is a lot. I'm a guy of structure, okay?
Well, I'm here for the hot mess.
Me too.
All right. I like the structure.
Honest-
It was way more fluid for my.
You're not wrong. It was way more fluid than the awards were, or the free agent special, to be honest.
I could see that being done live, like the free agent special, that done live with all of the character and all of the passion. That is something akin to doing the first round of the NHL draft live. But the 9 other rounds, nobody really watches. Like, so, and even if you did get that, if you got it would more focus on the managers rather than the big stars. You do the live free agency, and then you do just the 8 managers sitting at a table, you know?
You know, she's been quiet way too long. Justine, what do you think?
Honestly, it's really late and I'm starting to get tired. The only, you guys have been talking a lot, and that's perfectly fine. I just had one question, and I didn't want to interrupt while you guys were kind of talking.
Please interrupt.
Oh, it's okay. I'm really shy and I'm polite, so I just wait until my turn. That's just how I am.
You are Canadian, after all.
She's making us look bad, guys.
I'm sorry. Don't mean to. My only question regarding the new draft and how it is that, do you think we're going to see a lot more exchange, a lot more trades? And
I would hope so.
Because I don't really think so, but I could be wrong.
I would hope we do.
I think we're gonna see a lot more than last year, especially like Rocha. I know to certain factions they're missing 1 or 2 pieces probably, so they'll try to get them. And there's a lot of rookies, right? So maybe some people might understand the value of what they don't have and try to get that. So it is more of a possibility. So we'll see, but I think so, yes.
So two quick things. One, to be fair, they'll probably only call on you when your screen is lagging and you cannot actually respond to what they're saying. That's been my experience.
Makes sense.
I try to help you, Dan. I try to help you. I ran a note. Dan's next.
And to answer your question, I do believe adding 2 more people to the roster on each faction, even just going from 10 to 12, it's so much easier to make a trade because you can convince yourself that you can move the right pieces around and build your faction better. I noticed that in our fantasy leagues, but it requires less factions the less players you have. And when there are more good choices, it's easier for you to make a trade because a lot of player standings is just people's personal biases. And so we can argue till we're blue in the face which 85% accurate competitor is the best one of all time, but they're all relatively similar. It's what I was talking about parity earlier. You eventually circle back to the more competitors on each squad, the closer they will be to each other.
Okay. Dave, you got any closing thoughts?
Yes, as we are closing down, I'd love for us to all say not only where the good people on the interwebs can find us, but also, that's funny. I'm reading the private chat. That's just for us. Anyway, I would love for us all to say where the people can find us online, and also what faction we will be supporting in this upcoming season of the Schmoedown.
See, this is tough because my two factions are already taken by the two fuckers on the bottom.
Yeah, like
You can double up. You can double up.
I'll do myself first.
Breaking news. Corruption has decided to use their last pick after all. Elliot Dewberry is going back.
All right.
Thank you for putting that out.
I'd like to take this moment to declare myself for corruption. Dave will be supporting corruption.
Okay. I'm going with Dungeon with Lou.
All right.
Ooh, okay.
Yeah.
We're corruption versus the dungeon this year.
You have asked me, Soda, but you knew what exactly it means. A dungeon for life. I'm scared about corruption.
Well, you also said dungeon for life earlier in the stream, so
yeah. It's just,
to be fair,
out there, but corruption, I am scared about.
Frenchie, exact same.
Yeah,
this is the first time we've ever agreed, and it's because we disagree. I'm afraid of the dungeon.
Yeah.
Yeah, like God knows what's lurking down there. But yeah, man, this is going to be a hell of a season, and the storyline they built already could have like kind of fallen the waters if it's not kind of equal in force, in level of capacity they have. But good Lord, they're so equal that it's going to be anyone's game at this point. Still think it's going to be dungeon. All right, and.
Oh, 50, you lovable treasure, you.
and lastly, I'll just repeat for Jay Wade over here. Again, there's no pick for Roxy in round 9 because she has 2 picks in round 3. So they took her 9th one away because by round 8 she had picked 9 people. And the same thing with the Den because they had extra picks.
Okay.
All right, Soda.
All right.
Where can people find you online, Soda?
Okay, I'm gonna let the plugs for this show go to the other guys. So I'm gonna say you can find me also over on Media Sweaties Network, where I am on several different shows over there with people like 50 Shades of Geek, who is in the chat, good friend Ben Rayner, and my good friend Saul, who is part of now the Ultimate Schmoedown show. So definitely check those guys out and definitely support my other channel. And yeah, you can also find me at soda_the_saxman.
My God!
We ain't finished.
We're not ending the stream.
Oh my God!
The stream is not ending.
Clearly.
Hello,
You
Mr.
cannot
Rocha.
end a stream.
We cannot end the stream.
How are you doing, Mr. Rocha? How are you doing?
What's up, guys? I'm sneaking off to get Krispy Kreme donuts here in America, so don't sell me out. Don't sell me out.
Nope.
On all defense, it's, and I quote the moron that sucks the life out of everything, CFL over NFL guy who wanted to close the stream.
No. It's a shame. All right, I'm ordering my donuts. Give me 2 seconds. I'll be right back.
Okay.
All right.
Ladies and gentlemen, tweet this out right now. John Rocha is on Schmoes of the North right now. Post draft.
Ordering food.
Oh, okay. Sure. I'll take one of those. I'll take a chocolate ice with cream filling.
No.
The FinStock Exchange, I think, had one of the better drafts, or maybe most interesting draft of the night. Would you guys not agree?
Yeah, for sure.
It's at first, if you look at it on just papers, like what the hell is he doing, right? But Moneyball techniquing with actual stats it might be genius, right? He might have hit the gold mine, and Boston Red Sox hit and win everything, right? So, yeah, I can't wait to pick his brain, and I think Justin's gonna have a brain aneurysm in 2 seconds. So
How are you holding up, dear?
I'm kind of shaking now.
Welcome to what we live every week on Norton Consultations.
That was us at the beginning. Yeah.
Yeah. Now, I'm very excited to find out from John Rocha whether or not he or the Barbarian proofread the dossier and if JTE contributed to it at all.
If there were any spelling mistakes. All right. You be good?
I'm just managing. Like, you guys talk. I'm just managing something on my end. Okay.
Yeah, that's all right.
Thank you so much.
Now, Soda, what do we think? Do we think Brother Loomis and John the Outlaw Rocha, these are two big personalities, are they going to be able to coexist in a faction?
Right. Before we get to that, John, I would like to introduce you to Justine, who is a super fan of yours.
Hi, Justine. How are you?
Hi, I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. I got 10 minutes before I have to go pick up my girlfriend from the Sprouts. So let's make it happen. She's already been very lenient about the draft and the time I had to take tonight. Justine, how are you? Very nice to meet you.
It's really nice to meet you. I'm kind of freaking out.
I don't freak out. I'm just a regular dude.
Oh, no, man. You're the goat law.
That's right. Goddamn right.
We have the goat law in the house.
Yeah. So, the draft. Did everything go according to plan for you guys?
I would say pretty much. I mean, we had a really great build up to the draft. We looked at so many people. We interviewed so many people. Tom was being playful about the dossier, but we wrote. It was like an 85-page, 90-page dossier. We broke down and looked at all the people, and we had a game plan going in that we wanted to pick up people that we thought were hungry, were new, that we could teach the game to, and coach them up. Like they already had a level of knowledge, and then coach them up so we could get them where we thought they could play in the league. And look, everyone else is so busy patting themselves on the back and kissing their butts and doing whatever it is they're doing. We had an idea of what we wanted to do, and we played it to perfection. We picked the people we wanted to pick all the way through, and we couldn't be happier with how the draft turned out, you know?
And I'm curious because this is something me and Matt said. We just lost that. Okay, phew. Me and Matt said, I think that Finstock kind of gave clues a bit about talking about the Moneyball technique. I'm saying the document is not just a Finstock type of thing. I think he really did probably study all the things and try to Moneyball his way through with lesser known people. So you confirm that he really is Moneyballing it.
Oh, absolutely. That was our plan from the beginning. We had hours upon hours of meetings about all of these players. Each one of us taking separate times to like speak to them or quiz them or take a look at their work in the fan leagues if they were in fan leagues, or take a look at their Twitter profiles to see the movies they were talking about and how they were talking about them. If they had YouTube shows, we dipped in and watched some of their YouTube shows. So we were very clear. Look, all the managers want to paint Tom as a shirtless idiot, and I was laughing my ass off the whole time watching them put those narratives down. And you've noticed Tom walked in there, and every time he said, "This is the best player. This is the greatest player." That's all psychology. We wanted every player to feel like that we selected to feel like we believe in you that much that this is what we believe that you're the best player at this point. You're the best player in the draft, best IG player, best Star Wars player. That's all to build up all our players. So in their minds, they know they're coming to a faction that respects them and wants them to succeed at the highest level. And we are going to make them do so for sure. So let all the other managers make spectacles of themselves, pick players that make themselves feel good or that help their careers or they're star fucking. That wasn't what we were about. We're about winning the faction title. That's the game, and winning as many belts as possible through the year. So let them say whatever they want to say. Our draft went to perfection.
Yeah, what I liked about your strategy is you took what Kaiser tried to do last year, but you diversified it.
Yeah, right, exactly. And I would put out there that we have a better situation lined up, a better foundation to pick the players that we picked and get them into the right frame of mind to succeed for us, you know?
All right. You say that your draft went exactly how you wanted to. This time next year, do you, John Rocha, in your faction, do you guys hold all the belts in the exchange?
You know what the Outlaw's always been about: all the belts, all the records. And yes, I am careful not to say that I don't believe that we are going to have all the belts, because I do believe that. I think we're going to have the IG belt, the Star Wars belt, the tag team belt, and the singles belt. And again, let them all laugh, because when it's all said and done, and we have those belts and the faction title, they're all going to owe an apology, and I can't wait for that to happen. So, yes, I believe that. I believe we're going to win the faction title. I believe we're going to do some shock the world, and we put our, well, the lack of a better term, we put our balls on the line to show people that we are swinging for the fences, and we're going to see if this works. This could blow up in our faces, but we have a sneaking suspicion that it won't.
Now, I want to ask a quick question, because I know Justine probably wants to say something. Austin Daniel too. I just want to say, Griffin Newman. Everyone's like, "Who the fuck is that?" In very short fashion, what sparked, without revealing any secrets, what like caught your attention here?
We saw in him. This was a guy, when we interviewed him and we spoke to him, this guy like was excited to be a part of the Schmoedown. He's got so much knowledge already. He's a guy that really wanted to be part of it, and we just felt like this was. We gave him quizzes. We kind of looked at all the stuff with that, and we came away super impressed by this guy. Now, was he going to be our first round pick necessarily? Maybe not. Maybe someone got taken ahead of him that we were looking at, and it shocked us, so we had to adjust on the fly. But he was at the top of a list, and so we just adapted and improvised, which is what you do in the military. That's the two things they tell you, at least the American military. You adapt and improvise. And since we're going to war, that's what we did in that first round. Once for the players we really wanted got taken, had to adjust to select Griff. And we wanted him. We just wanted him at a certain spot. And once something else happened, we felt it was the right choice then to go with him, number one. And I love that Christian and Ben are like, who's this guy? What's this all about? That's what we want. That's what we want. And that shows you the level of unpreparation that someone like Ben Bateman did to even know who this guy was. I saw him I heard him floundering around on the stereo app with Christian, because he didn't know half the people we chose. Frank Janish, who's supposed to be an analyst, is sitting there searching through his pages for the people we chose. And I'm like, what kind of analyst are you? I've watched the NFL draft. Mel Kiper knows every person who's on that board. You didn't know any person. You didn't know half the people we chose. That shows a disrespect to all the people that were available to be chosen. You should have had at least a cursory knowledge of those people. And so the more people reacted in the chat, it just made me laugh to see all these people who've never competed, never run a faction, never been in a match, and have no idea what it's like to draft, to cover 4 divisions, judging our draft. It was comical to see these jokes who can't even balance their checkbook talking shit about us. It was hilarious.
Now, Justine, before we pass out, shoot it out. Shoot it out.
I don't have a question. I literally just, everything you just said, I am so on board. I am so ready. I cannot wait. Just what happened with free agency, just your whole, everything was so empowering to me. And I just walked away. It was like, that's powerful. I am so ready and I cannot wait. I'm sorry. I'm a little bit really excited right now because you're like my favorite Schmoedown character. And I love you so much. And I'm sorry.
I love you so much.
I'll tell you what. Justine, the first victory I have this year, if I remember, the first victory I have this year, I'll dedicate it to you.
Oh my God!
And don't forget, John, you're the ring bearer for their. You're the ring bearer for their wedding, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, Dan, go ahead.
Yeah. Sadly, it's not going to be quite as glowing as that because I cannot do you as much justice as your true fans. You see, I'm a corruption fan, and I cannot like. Listen. Now
I'm sorry you like plastic queens. We're real king
now
of
that
queens
the
on this
true
faction.
now that the true outlaw is back, I do believe all roads lead to corruption for you, my friend. But what I was going to comment on is what I loved about Gucci's draft specifically is most of those players don't even have divisions attached to them. So we have no idea where your strengths are coming from. We have no idea if this is a top tier rookie or a lower one because there is no info on these guys. It makes them unpredictable, and that's going to be fun.
Exactly. And look, that sounds glowing to me because that to me means all these other factions have no idea about our players, but we do. We know exactly why we drafted them, what division we want to put them in, and where they're going to shine. Absolutely. So we know what division they're. I'm sorry you don't know, but we know, and we're the ones that need to know in order to put them in there so they can succeed. And all roads don't lead to corruption because last time I checked, corruption doesn't have the tag team belt, and they don't have the IG belt. They only have the singles belt, and eventually that'll be around somebody's shoulder on the exchange for sure, whether it's me or Craig or JTE or one of the three rookies we're angling to slide into singles and shock the world. Anything can happen. So, like I said, let them all kiss their butts and tell their fans how great they were. We know we had a great draft, and we're going to shock the world.
One of the things I'm looking forward to is every season we've had the tagline, the Magic season, the new era, and they've all lived up to their height. But right now, I'm excited for the war that's coming because you can tell everybody's gearing up for it.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Yeah, no one's going to gear for more than Ben Bateman, though. He's going to talk all his mess and get people motivated to whoop them.
Yeah, he's going to learn to protect himself from all the artillery fire.
That's something we can be friends over, John, is neither of us are Ben Bateman fans.
I'm the dungeon show, so you can. I'm about to get insulted now. But it's okay. But who cares what I say? Here goes what Daniel says. At least you got your number one fan right now. Gonna cheer for you. And we're gonna have to videotape her reaction when you win that match, and you get a shout out to her. She's gonna probably either have a heart attack or be pregnant on the spot. One of those.
I'm not. No.
I'll say this: the outlaw works in mysterious ways. I'll let it be at that. Either I gotta go or I got time for one last question. Anybody got something? If not, I gotta roll.
Yeah, I got one. One last one.
Okay.
When you get back, and I'm saying Dan's gonna beat Collins and take his title back. When you take that title from Dan Murrell, because that's the person you want to take it from, who do you want next?
That's a great question. I don't know if there's anybody out, but probably Ethan. I've never beaten Ethan, and I came so damn close this last time, all the way into sudden death. People want to shit on my season from last season, but I almost won every match except for the Collins match. So, I mean, you can come after him if you want, but I was this close to winning almost every match I was in. If I'd followed my gut on Eddie Murphy, we would have wiped out Final Exam. That's damn sure. So that was on me, but it broke us up because clearly I needed to have another partner, and Dan has chosen to go with Ben. I don't know what Ben's doing. I don't know if you guys have basketball up there other than Toronto, but joining the team that just whipped your ass 3 times, it doesn't make sense to me at all.
Does not make sense.
Shape, or form. Ben Bateman choked away a title shot twice against Dan Murrell, leads going into the final round twice, and blew it And now he's like, oh, I'm going to have you be my partner. And you know what sucks? The new rule, I don't know if they announced it, but the factions can't fight each other for the title, I don't think.
I heard, yeah, that was
the same
announced.
faction. So if Dan wins the title back, Ben can't sniff the title. Ben cannot play him for the title. So it's fascinating to see the decision he's made here. I think it's a terrible decision, but, when you can't wait to go hide behind other people who can, and so that's where he's gone. So,
if you can't beat him, join him. Marion Hossa did it 3 straight
so.
years. Seriously,
Who did?
3 straight. Marion Hossa, hockey player, he joined the team that beat him in the cup final 3 straight years.
Right.
Yeah, it was like
yeah, but do you respect
he
him for
finally
that?
won it on the 3rd try. He won it on the 3rd try.
Good job, Marion. Good job.
Yeah.
Anyway.
All right. So, Rocha, it is an honor, a blessing to have you on anytime, especially in this time. So thank you so much for taking time out of your busy ass schedule, hence why you're in your car right now. So till next time, and we love you, bro. Bye-bye.
Enjoy the donuts.
Thank you. Love you.
Bye, Justin. Bye.
Thanks, John.
See you in the standings.
And
how are you feeling, Justin, after that?
I think we were about to goddamn close the show.
My heart rate is kind of going. I definitely messed up on a lot of wording that I was going to say because I was stumbling a lot. Little embarrassed of that. Yeah. I think I need to take a drink right now.
Yeah, but to be honest, you did good. Even though you were a bit like, oh my God, it's him. You were able to articulate words and hell to the point that he's going to dedicate his next win to you, Justin.
And let's not let him forget it.
Well, I was told Rocha was coming on, but then he wasn't, and we were leaving, but then he came on, and it just caught me off the surprise, because I was like, okay, we're going to go for the night, and then it was like, never mind, Justine, here you go.
Hey, man, it's the gunslinger coming in at the last moment. It's very much...
You thought you were like 5 minutes from laying down in bed, and now you're wide awake.
I am wide awake now.
Yeah. It's like Apu in that episode of The Simpsons with the squishies.
Right. And the thing, you now know how it feels, like how Dave felt and me and everyone felt at the beginnings when we had Kais or Rocha. Still to this day, some people we get on, we're like, holy shit.
Yeah.
You understand that feeling of finally you are putting your ass out of the couch and having direct contact with Schmoedown people. This is the best thing that could have ever happened to us, man.
The 5th Schmo of the North?
Huh?
The 5th Schmo of the North?
What do you mean?
Hi!
Just one of us.
Oh, yeah. Okay, I thought you meant the episode. Like, what happened in the episode?
Only if you want me. Only if you want me.
Hey, okay, you know what? You've been with us for, 5 hours now? You've done a great job. And whenever Dave can't make it if you want to fill in, or if you want to join us, offer's always open.
She doesn't know how to edit, guys. You can't replace me that easy.
Just on screen, dude.
And
I'm
also,
sorry, I'm better on screen than you.
All right, where can people find you online?
We need to wrap it up.
By the way, yes. By the way, yes, you can find me. I usually run the Schmoes of North Twitter on Norton Schmoes. You can find me doing every week a lot of content, including Snark's Midlife Crisis on Monday. We are discovering anime. He does not know what the fuck is going on with anime. He wants to learn. Also, I have on Tuesday, independent filmmaker, producer, and war veteran going into the deeper knowledge of movies, things you'd only know if you are in the industry. So do not miss that out. And tomorrow, we got Soul on, speaking of Schmoedown, from 2:30 p.m. to 4 p.m. on a Saturday. And we also have Harper at the beginning of the show going over a couple of things. So we cannot wait for you to join that show.
Daniel?
Yeah, you can find me over on our Facebook page, Schmoes of the North, a Schmoedown fan page, where I run our fantasy leagues. We're gearing up for season 2. You can join with a bunch of people, become your own manager, pick your own Schmoedown faction, and follow along with all of the matches and see who comes out on top at the end of the year. And it's a lot of fun, a lot of trash talk, and just a way to have a good time with some friends. And also, starting February 18th, I'm going to be also launching a show on both this network and also various podcasting platforms. It's called the Best TV Show Podcast, where I will sit down with a guest, get to know their favorite TV show, why it's their favorite TV show, talk characters, talk themes, and then the second half will be a deep dive into one particular season of that show and why its storyline affects the characters, the plot of the show in total, and them as a person.
Okay, and Justine and friend?
All right. Rude.
I'll let you go first then.
You can find me here on Schmoes of the North. Follow us on Twitter. Join our Facebook page to get involved in Daniel's family. Subscribe to us on YouTube. Follow us on Twitter. We're doing stereo all the time now. So whenever you see us tweeting about that, jump in, ask a question. We're good to talk to. Also, I won't let Daniel be the only person to plug a new show. Soda and myself, starting alternating weeks with Daniel, will be launching the Canadian Comic Book Club, where me and Soda will be talking comic books all the time. Justine, the person who I'm the +1 of, would you like to plug anything?
I don't have anything to plug because I was just offered this today.
All right, but in that case, before we leave, I just want to thank so much for all the people who stuck from the beginning to the end. I saw some fluctuation, but we pretty much stuck that 5-6 people. And for us, for some people, like, that's not enough. For us, we appreciate it. We love you people. Thank you for being there, sticking with us for freaking 2 hours and a half. This is the longest stream we've ever done.
Oh, yeah.
And you stick through. And thank you.
Yeah.
Except for you, Travis. We hate you.
Yeah, and 50, yes, now you can finally go to sleep.
Yeah.
Which one's Travis?
The Ryan Cross Project.
Oh.
All right. So that being said, boys, again, thank you so much for doing this. This was a blast. Till next time.
Less than
Bye-bye.
Rocha, 50.
And too many.